The global altar event just dropped, and it's absolute chaos. Everyone's out here donating their most expensive loot like they're trying to win the lottery, praying for that white light reward to save their sorry lives. Meanwhile, our boy pulls up and tosses a pack of spicy sticks onto the altar. The NPCs around him are literally clowning him, calling him a broke fraud just trying to get some clout. But then, boom! The altar emits a god-tier red light pillar. Everyone's jaws hit the floor. Out pops a mythical item that nobody has ever seen before. Turns out, our boy has a SSS tier hidden passive, Eye of Truth. He sees through the altar's RNG and knows exactly what it wants. It's simple. You feed the altar what it's craving, you get the top tier loot. It's not rocket science, it's just big brain energy. Can you believe this? A few hours ago, he was a total simp, getting his life drained by his gold-digging ex. The girl took the bag he bought her and ghosted him to ride off in a brand new Maybach. Talk about a villain arc starter pack. He's walking down the street, feeling like his life is literally collapsing. Then, the sky decides to join the party with a massive, soul-shaking boom. Suddenly, portals open up, and altars start raining from the heavens like it's a glitch in the Matrix. Instant panic. The whole world is spiraling. Total lobby-wide mayhem. Suddenly, his eyes start tweaking, burning like hellfire. When he opens them, he sees a hidden UI prompt only he can read. Altar number 666 is connected to a void-tier entity. It's a massive beast, an eldritch horror that's been sleeping for eons. It's bored out of its mind and starving for something that actually hits the spot. It's craving a flavor blast, something to wake up its taste buds. The crowd is swarming around a chubby guy who just chucked his sandwich at the altar. The altar gives off a weak, mid-tier white glow. A glowing fruit spawns. Simple, but effective. The chubby guy is hyped, grabs the fruit, and downs it immediately. Bro literally loses all his fat in seconds and gains a physique that's built different. He's shredded now. The crowd loses their minds. The hype is real, and nobody can chill. They start panic throwing everything they own at the altars. Watches, jewelry, pure gold. These clowns are dumping their entire inventories like they're speedrunning bankruptcy. Our boy stands there watching the madness, mind completely blank. Because he's the only one who knows the beast behind this altar isn't looking for jewelry. It's looking for pure, spicy pain. And guess what? He's got the holy grail in his pocket. Some friends brought him a pack of death-level spicy sticks from abroad. He tried one lick and his insides were nuked for 3 days straight. If a simple sandwich got that guy a buff, imagine what this spicy nightmare is gonna do. If he drops the right offering, what's the payout looking like? Bro's gears start turning, and he zooms back home. He raids his pantry like a madman and pulls out that pack of death-level spicy strips. He takes a sec to breathe, stops tweaking, and hits the PC to check the intel. Bruh, the internet is literally imploding. Every site on the web is getting spammed with one word: altar. Some Middle Eastern warlords dropped a whole truck of gold and got gifted god-tier powers. This other whale pulled up with a literal semi-truck filled with gold bars and dumped the whole bag on the altar. And guess what? He actually got a blue glow-up. The altar dropped this glowing blue seed. Bro straight up ate it and gained the cracked ability to summon vines. But wait, there's more. Japan completely fumbled the bag on their sacrifice. They managed to pull a literal man-eating demon out of thin air. Some supposed swordmaster sacrificed an ancient family heirloom, but instead of power, he spawned a demon straight out of a horror flick. Japan is currently in shambles. It's a total L-fest, and the military had to step in. Our boy is watching this news like, bruh, realizing that a botched sacrifice is a one-way ticket to getting deleted. So if you're going to sacrifice something, you better make sure it's exactly what the altar craves. Suddenly, his phone starts blowing up. It's an emergency alert from the Long Country government. Turns out, sacrificing to this mysterious altar is high risk and has a major cooldown. You only get one shot per altar, and you're hard capped at 3 sacrifices a day. Also, the altar's appearance sent out this massive, unknown energy pulse. Every surveillance gadget on the planet just got fried. Reading that, his heart does a little backflip. Isn't this the ultimate cheat code? Checks the clock, 10 p.m. He stuffs the spicy strips in his pocket and speed runs back to the plaza. The place is a ghost town, just littered with the trash from the day's failed attempts. He pulls out the spicy strips and sets them on the altar like a holy relic. Suddenly, the altar starts vibing way too hard, shooting a massive red beam straight into the stratosphere. In a blink, the whole city is bathed in blood-red light. People for miles are catching a glimpse of this apocalyptic glow and losing their minds. Right on cue, a giant, pitch-black egg spawns on the altar. He doesn't hesitate, yoinks the egg into his arms and dips before anyone can blink. Meanwhile, over at the Long Country capital, inside the HQ for the Bureau of Paranormal Affairs, an alarm starts blaring, and some high-ranking UNC with a serious look on his face yells, "Did we lock onto the coordinates yet?" "Report, General. We traced the signal. It's pinpointed right on this kid's city." West District, Jiang City. The government just labeled this place a grade S threat, no cap. Tell the Jiang City branch to move out. I don't care the cost. Figure out what that red light beam actually is. Meanwhile, our boy is back home, staring at this giant egg like, bro, what in the world are you? I wonder if I can crack this open and make some legendary fried rice. Suddenly, a notification screen pops up right on the shelf. Abyssal Demon Dragon Egg. Mythical grade. Hatch this, and you get an Abyssal Demon Dragon as your personal sidekick. Its power is so cracked it can literally tear gods to shreds. Our boy sees that and loses his mind. Hype! Anyone who's touched a game knows, Mythical is the final boss of tiers. That Death Spicy Snack Pack he bought really didn't miss. Wait. He realizes something is off. Why can these eyes analyze items that even the altar rewards can't? He sprints to the bathroom to stare at himself in the mirror. A status window pops up. Eyes of Truth. Unique grade. Able to see through the karma of all things. You can look at the altar and see plane coordinates and karmic requirements. You can look at any item and see its rank, name, and literal cheat code stats. Oh, I see what's going on now. This eye ability is actually kind of broken. He suddenly remembers all those posts he saw earlier. Like countless people were out here sacrificing stuff and getting back dry, dusty sticks or basic-looking pebbles. They had no clue what they were holding, so it was basically just a massive L. But our boy? He's built different. One glance, and all the stats are laid out in 4K resolution. Honestly, going out and speedrunning the Loot Goblin meta is looking real possible now. He tucks the dragon egg into his blankets and checks the wall clock. 10:30 p.m. Only an hour and a half left before the day ends. Time to get that grind on. He's still got 2 sacrifices. Thinking it over, our boy starts loading his backpack with all the essentials. We're talking tiger balm, a lighter, and some philosophy books. Literally anything people call trash, he's bagging it. Finally, he tosses in a fruit knife for self-defense and eyes the photo frame on his desk. It's Xia Weiwei, flashing a radiant smile. He figures it's useless to keep, so he stuffs it in his pocket, ready to toss that L-taking memory in the trash. He steps out and heads straight for the abandoned industrial zone on the west side of the city. That place is a total wasteland, complex layout, absolute peak spot for some secret business. But hold up, his phone starts buzzing out of nowhere. Who is it? None other than his mid-ex-girlfriend, Xia Weiwei. He hits decline, blocks the number, and deletes the contact like a G. Meanwhile, at a 5-star hotel, Xia Weiwei is busy chilling with Zhang Yang. She probably thinks our boy is still rotting in his room, coping and seething. Imagine her face when the call gets dropped. The audacity! A random fire of rage starts burning in her chest. This total fraud she dumped? How dare he hang up on her? What's wrong, babe? One simple question, and her anger instantly evaporates. She looks at the guy in front of her, feeling absolutely elite. He drops thousands on designer bags and watches like it's nothing. These are the top-tier sacrifices for this era. FR. All those deep feelings and promises from the past? Worthless. Literally zero clout. Besides, she already sacrificed the bag our boy gave her. The altar glows with a mesmerizing green light. And get this, the next 2 sacrifices also hit that top-tier green light. RNG is on her side. She's convinced she's the chosen one of this era. Pure delusion. Zhang Yang is acting all sweet, but deep down, bro is just calculating the ROI. He only planned to spend a little cash for a side quest, but this girl's luck is actually cracked. 3 green lights in a row? Keep her around. She's definitely going to be useful later. Back to our boy. He's arrived at the abandoned industrial zone. He's got to find 2 decent altars and sacrifice before the clock hits 12. Any later and he's missing the drop. Total waste. He takes 2 steps and boom, finds an altar. Altar ID 25.91. Let the grind begin. Connecting to the coordinates of the Scrap Kingdom, it's just some tiny junk-collecting demon living its best life as a garbage man. Bro is legit obsessed with bottle caps like, get a hobby, my guy. Our boy just shakes his head. Like, what kind of mid-loot am I going to get from a literal trash bot? Hard pass. He keeps it pushing and finds another altar. Altar ID 18472. Connecting to the dried-up fish pond. Just a dying carp, NPC, begging for a sip of water. Again, major L. Not the vibe we're looking for. Finally, he dips into a random trash-filled alleyway, checks the surroundings coast is clear, and locks eyes with this specific altar. Altar ID 444. Connecting to the theater of tragedy. We got a tragic main girl stuck in an eternal reincarnation loop, and she is so over this scripted main character energy. She's currently down bad for an item born from genuine betrayal, fueled by pure, unadulterated salt and regret. Our boy is gasping. The ID is 444? And the requirements are absolute brain rot tier? But wait, didn't he just get dumped? Perfect. He pulls out a photo of Jia Wei, immediately goes full psycho mode, slashing it up with a fruit knife. Gotta make sure that resentment and I'm done with this energy is maxed out. FR. He closes his eyes and starts the trauma montage. Why are you running a fever? I'm out shopping with my bestie. Deal with it. Just drink some water, bro. Yo. Where's my game account? Sold it. Stay mad. All you men do is play games and slack off. I kept that cash to buy myself some snacks. It's for us. Obviously. You really need to grow up and get it together. I'm not trying to be broke and miserable with you. We're literally from different worlds. Don't hit me up again, okay? Thinking about that toxic gaslighting, he starts laughing, clicks his lighter, and sets the vibe. Burns a piece of the photo, and yeets the offering onto the altar. Suddenly, a massive purple pillar of light shoots up. Sheesh! It's smaller than the red light from before, but there's zero info on this color. This is some mysterious, top-tier RNG right here. He's hyped now, and boom! 5 crusty, old-school tickets appear. He snatches them up instantly. Let him cook! Eye of Truth. Activated. A wild notification pops up. It's a ticket for the Stage 4 event series. Epic tier. One-time use consumable. Once triggered, it forces the target to relive their deepest trauma, or biggest L, literally breaking their mental state for 3 seconds. We're talking total stun lock, certified epic tier. It's not quite that dragon egg we saw earlier, but a 3-second CC window is basically a cheat code. In this game, that's all you need to turn someone into a permanent ghost. Plus, this looks like part of a set. What happens when we collect the whole series? Total game breaker vibes. But no time to daydream. We've only got 30 minutes left on the 12-hour clock. He scopes out the industrial zone and stumbles across another altar. Altar 7591. Connecting to the lost crossroads. Some lost explorer in there begging for directions. Bro just shakes his head and walks away. Look. He's a busy man, he ain't got time for GPS duty. Keeps moving. And then something else catches his eye. Altar 1988. Connecting to the silent library. Some old head librarian in there, thirsty for a compliment. He almost bites. But then he remembers the struggle and decides he's gotta secure the best bag possible. He does a massive lap around the area and finally spots a giant warehouse. Inside, there's an altar standing there looking all ominous and suspicious. Altar 101. At first, the number didn't hit. But then he realized something was off. That number's in binary, bro. That's galaxy brain tier. A prompt appears, connecting to the logic origin point. It's a super A about to gain consciousness. It's a genius at complex logic, but can't wrap its circuits around a single paradox. It's asking, why do humans even waste brain power on stuff that doesn't help them survive? It's literally begging for a sample of that illogical, useless human brain energy. So our boy pulls a philosophy book, called Being and Nothingness, out of his bag. Man, this piece of junk is actually the perfect cheat code for the ritual. As soon as he slaps it on the altar, a sound so loud it literally tried to delete his eardrum starts playing. Then the air starts smelling like a fried GPU. Bro's heart drops, thinking, wait, did I just overclock this reality to death? Suddenly, a golden pillar of light shoots straight into the heavens. The whole workshop is glowing up, and his heart is beating like a bass drum. Who could have guessed? In just a few hours, he's triggered the red, purple, and gold lights. The absolute rarest stuff, never even seen online before. But hold up. A cold, deathly aura suddenly hits him from behind. Using the bright light as a cover, he catches a glimpse of a shadowy figure, and this clown is moving at Olympic sprinter speed. Straight for the kill. The blade is literally an inch away from his back. But the next second, the attacker just freezes up like his internet connection dropped mid-game. Then comes the sound of pure, unadulterated screaming. The fraud drops his knife and is just writhing on the floor, clutching his skull like his brain is buffering. See, while he wasn't looking, our boy dropped a tier 4 entry ticket, trapping the op in a nightmare loop for 3 full seconds. He yanks a fruit knife from his back pocket and thwip one clean hit to end the fraud's career. Then he hits the wall, shaking like a leaf because the adrenaline is finally hitting. I mean, it's his first time folding someone. Give him a break. He looks at the corpse and proceeds to speedrun, puking his entire dinner out. A moment later, he forces himself to stand up. Realization hits. These high-tier lights aren't just loot drops. They're basically a massive come-kill-me beacon. They're just gonna attract every shadow-dwelling creep in the area. He looks at the body and spots 2 glowing white orbs hovering there. Eye of Truth activates. Speedy calves. Gives a nice buff to movement speed and jump height. Status. Up for grabs. Then he checks the second drop. Physical protection charm. Slight durability buff. Also up for grabs. When he sees the words up for grabs, his brain basically short-circuits. A cold, brutal rule of this world just clicked in his head. Kill them, take their stuff. If you delete the op, you get everything they farmed from the sacrifice. This clown had 2 useful items, so he was definitely out here playing dirty with others too. But wait, why is the internet full of, look at my light, posts but zero mentions of this massive risk? The more he thinks, the more he's tweaking. It's not that people don't know, It's that the ones who know are choosing to stay silent. Some of them ended up just like the corpse on the floor, while the others are just busy leveling up as hunters. Meanwhile, some folks are just keeping their traps shut, looking at you, government. Because admitting this news? Nah, that's basically just saying the whole social order is officially cooked. It's straight up Dark Forest rules now. The world is about to descend into total, chaotic anarchy. Once that clicked, bro didn't waste a single second. He snatched up that glowing orb and locked his eyes on the center of the altar. There it was. A metal cube the size of a fist. Eyes of Truth activated. Low-tier inventory? Nah, this is legendary tier loot, baby. Bind that bad boy, and you get a dimensional pocket with 1,000 cubic meters of storage. Perfect for stashing all your altar-related gear. A legendary tier logistical cheat code? Let him cook! He immediately thought about that demon dragon egg back at the crib. Tucking it in here is the ultimate security move. The second his finger touched that cube, his mind expanded into a massive, infinite void. He hit the button, tossed his stage 4 entry ticket inside, and boom, done. Checked his phone. It was just past midnight. He wiped off his blood-stained fruit knife and prepared to ghost this sketchy spot. But the second he took 2 steps, a massive bolt of lightning ripped the sky apart. Then, the clouds just absolutely opened up like a waterfall. Hold up. The sky was clear as a mirror a second ago. Why is it dumping rain now? Something's fishy about this weather. Bro froze in his tracks, staying cautious. He had an umbrella in his bag, but he wasn't trying to find out if this rain was toxic or not. I mean, the altar already descended. Who's to say this rain doesn't turn people into zombies? He pulled up his phone to check the socials. No surprise, the forums were already blowing up about the rain. The hype was all about sacrificing items a second ago. But now? Everyone's spamming the chat. Yo, is it thundering and pouring by you guys too? Bro, this rain is sus as hell. Don't get wet or you're getting mutated. Bruh, I got soaked. I haven't even held a girl's hand yet. Please don't turn me into a zombie. The feed was moving so fast, and his heart started sinking. If this rain is actually infectious, the consequences are going to be legendary, and not in a good way. Before he could even cook up a game plan, a red-tagged post popped up that made his heart drop. Damn, we're actually cooked. The altar just vanished. After bagging that S-tier red, gold, purple loot, the kind that's never even hit the headlines, our boy dipped. Time to head home. But plot twist. The clear night sky just decided to pull a fast one and started absolutely dumping rain. He checked his phone and the forums were already moving mad, posting updates faster than a sweaty gamer on Ranked. But the real red flag, the one that had him down bad, was a pinned post glowing in red. It's over, bros. The altar just straight up dipped. He whipped his head around, heart racing. Deadass, the altar was gone. Even creepier? That body from earlier? Vanished. Deleted. But he knew for a fact nobody else had been lurking around here. The only explanation? That cursed rain. Once the rain hits, the altar resets, and the game wipes the server logs of everything that happened yesterday. Plus, with the worldwide CCTV surveillance down, isn't this just the perfect sandbox for some murder and looting? Because the rain itself isn't even toxic. It's just the cover-up. He grabbed his umbrella and speed ran back to his crib. Not even a second later, the Occult Management Bureau rolled up on the scene. They found the warehouse where the altar used to be in record time. Captain Xin Feng gestured to his squad, and a girl, maybe 20, stepped up. She'd pulled a reverse energy buff from the sacrifice yesterday, allowing her to track residual energy spikes in the air. The higher the grade of the loot, the brighter the signal. Linwan closed her eyes to lock in, but suddenly let out a scream and buckled backward. Xin Feng caught her just in time. Yo, you good? She was gasping for air, voice literally shaking. This place, it hits different compared to the other sacrifice sites. The others were just fireflies. But this? This is like staring directly into the sun. It's blinding. One of the squad members couldn't hold it in. Wait, is this a gold tier awakening? Xin Feng's face turned dead serious instantly. Lock this place down. I want a full-scale investigation, right now. He pulled his radio to report to HQ immediately. Reporting in. I think we're dealing with a monster here that's beyond any. Bro hits the crib, immediately yeets that magic dragon egg into his dimensional pocket. Big brain move. No more stressing about that egg blowing up on him. If he can just keep the dragon in there after it hatches, he's gonna be living the dream. But first things first. How does he actually get this thing to hatch? Remembers those MC moments in the movies where they drip blood to bond? So he's like, bet, let's try that. He drops a bit of blood on the shell, and suddenly, boom! A quest prompt pops up. Conditions for hatching. Absorb sufficient blood. Not exactly shocking, but his own blood supply isn't infinite? Looks like he's got to brainstorm a plan for tomorrow. Bro's been moving mad all day. He's absolutely cooked and drained. Man passes out before his head even hits the pillow. 5 a.m. sharp, his alarm goes off like a jump scare. The altar's just reset, so he pulls up the forums to get the tea. Takes him 2 seconds to map out the meta. That early morning rain? totally harmless, and it stops right at 5 a.m. The altar refresh schedule is locked in too. He heads out to grab some grub while plotting where he can source all that extra blood. Slurping down a bowl of noodles at a shop, he's back on the forum grind. Everyone's losing their minds, just spamming the alpatar like degens. It's giving gambling addict energy. People are literally throwing away their lives for the altar. Suddenly, he overhears two dudes at the next table talking spicy. One of them lowers his voice. Look at these NPCs outside, just obsessing over the altar. They're out here dumping heirlooms and antiques like total gambling addicts, missing the real play. The other guy is hooked. What's the move then? What could be more important than the alpratar? Bro, people gotta eat. Food is the ultimate scarcity. I'm snatching up a food processing plant. When those clowns go broke and start begging for a snack, I'm gonna be the one holding all the cards. I'll be the food king of Jiang City. FR. A light bulb goes off in our boy's head like a lightning strike. Food processing, wait, that means meat. And where does meat come from? No cap, it's a slaughterhouse. If he can secure a slaughterhouse, his blood problem is officially solved. He speedruns back home, boots up the PC, and starts scanning the market. Thanks to the altar crash, the market is flooded with cheap assets. Everything is on sale. And just like that, our boy locked onto a target. Some janky slaughterhouse in the west suburbs was desperate to sell, so he didn't even hesitate. Bro dialed the number immediately. Fast work, king. Negotiated the meeting time like a boss, ready to seal the deal. Hung up the phone and checked his account balance. To some of these rich NPCs, this amount is literally pocket change, not even enough for a decent sacrifice. But for our guy, this is about to be his personal dragon's lair. FR. 2 p.m. hits, he pulls up to the west side of Jiang City. Some middle-aged UNC runs up, trying to hard sell the place. Bro, the slaughter line was serviced last month? Absolute peak condition. Check the freezer, it's chillin' like a boss, UNC says. But our boy just stays silent, giving the place a cold, calculated stare. That main character energy look had UNC sweating bullets, losing all his confidence. Trying to recover, UNC hits him with a massive, scam tier price. Our boy didn't even blink. Just gave him the nah, you're trippin' head shake. After a quick back and forth, he clapped back with a counteroffer. Bought the whole spot for a quarter of the asking price. Absolute finesse. UNC signed the contract, handed over the keys, and even dropped the digits for a nearby farm, basically solving the supply chain issue right there. What a legend. After checking the perimeter, he headbutted his way into the secret basement. It was just a dusty, L-tier storage room. But wait. Suddenly, his eyes of truth pinged. Low-key energy fluctuations detected. He ripped up the floorboards, and boom! An altar revealed itself. This thing was glowing crimson, literally thumping like a heartbeat. Creepy, but hype. He pushed past the vibes, activated the eyes of truth. His vision burned like hell, and blood-red text started glitching into existence. Altar number 40. Connected to the Crimson Throne. Everything is food, until the crimson rises. Special attribute. Eternal altar. This bad boy is permanent. Doesn't even count toward his daily limit. Infinite sacrifices. Let's go! Blood refining attribute. Can convert any sacrificial item into pure blood. One sip of that, and his raw stats are going to the moon, permanently. Bro was actually shook. This is the lowest numbered altar he's ever seen, and it's an infinite glitch spot. The fact that it's unlimited and totally hidden? This is his own private cheat code factory. From now on, all those trash items he finds are getting recycled into pure gains. The grind just got a massive buff. He couldn't wait any longer. He had to test it out immediately. After all, he's already got some loot ready to sacrifice. Let him cook. After tossing that mid-tier trash talisman he got last night into the altar, an ancient-looking glass jar suddenly spawns out of thin air. Inside? Half a bottle of some sketchy black liquid. Bro activates his Eye of Truth, and a UI pops up. Primordial blood, common quality. Basically, drink this, and your physical stats get a permanent glow-up. Exactly what the homie ordered. He doesn't even hesitate, chugs the whole thing. He thought it'd taste like straight-up garbage, but it's actually weirdly sweet and refreshing. Just as he's thinking, wait, why is nothing happening? BOM. A massive wave of heat detonates inside him. Every single cell in his body starts thirsting for that juice, soaking it up like a sponge. He's literally starting to steam like a pressure cooker. This hit's different than those basic tier props. This power is straight up radiating from his bones and flesh. He walks up to a slab of beef, throws one casual punch, and sends 250 kilograms of meat flying across the room like it's nothing. Man, this is way more busted than he expected. Keep in mind, this was just a common bottle of blood. Becoming a saint isn't just a fever dream anymore. It's the endgame. He suppresses the hype, planning to hit up the farm tomorrow to grab some chickens to hatch his dragon eggs. But first, it's time to go dumpster diving for the scraps nobody wants. Plenty of whales are out here blowing their life savings on the altar, getting trashy armor in return, which is exactly what our boy is hunting for. Gambling is high risk, but scavenging? That's free real estate. By afternoon, he hits up the farm owner, but there's a skill issue. He's flat broke. Buying that slaughterhouse wiped his entire savings account. Even in this new era, no money, no honey cash is still king. So he pivots. One more sweep for scrap items to see if he can pull something legendary. With that elite Crimson Throne altar equipped, he hits the streets, ready to burn through his daily sacrifice limit. But as soon as he steps into the local market, a blood-curdling scream rips through the air. Bro spots a humanoid monster in rags tearing into some poor NPC. He activates the Eye of Truth immediately. Monk of Flesh Hatred. Common calamity. Guy got framed for stealing lamb, got jumped, and literally died of saltiness. He used to be a protector monk for a temple. Now he's got a vendetta against anything related to meat. Our boy instantly realizes some absolute genius sacrificed meat at the altar, and accidentally ain't no way bro is literally speed running his own funeral right now. Suddenly, a fleet of SUVs pulls up, doors fly open, and a squad of ops hops out ready to crash the party. Leading the charge is the captain of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau himself, Xin Feng. Bro is out here giving orders with that main character syndrome cold expression. And just like that, the whole block is on lockdown. The NPCs are scrambling to get out, but our boy stays posted up nearby, refusing to dip. Xin Feng glances back at the girl behind him. Captain, the energy readings are going crazy. We gotta play this safe, she says. Lin Yuan is standing right behind the police tape, catching every single word they're dropping. Damn, she can actually track energy signatures? Is she a walking, talking human radar? Or what? Suddenly, Lin Yuan feels something, and she locks eyes with him instantly. In that split second, he keeps his cool, putting on his best clueless civilian face to hide the shock. Lin Yuan frowns, feeling a weird ripple of energy coming from him, but it's so faint she's not even sure if it's real. Is my brain lagging? Was that just an illusion, she wonders? Right on cue, the demonic monk in the middle of the market lets out a massive roar. Xin Feng yells the command, and the squad lights him up with heavy fire. But this monk is built different. Bullets aren't doing squat. Xin Feng switches up the strat, shouting, Team 2, let's cook! The moment he calls it, two guys dart out from the flanks. One of them is moving so fast he's glitching, straight up appearing behind the monk with a dagger aimed for the neck. The other absolute unit pulls up with a massive metal barrier and smashes it straight into the monster's skull. The combo is so clean, the monk is left totally wide open. Xin Feng senses the opening and decides to stop playing around. He draws his blade, and it's glowing with crackling electricity. Total anime protagonist energy. One swing, one clean decapitation. Head, gone. GG. Our boy is actually low-key impressed. Their team synergy is honestly cracked, but looking at the power gap he realizes he's gotta stop slacking and get his grind on. The sun is dipping, so he needs to find a safe spot to hunt for more altars. He decides to head out to the suburbs. On the way, he spots a few altars, but they're all mid compared to what he found on day one. As our boy strolled past a shady abandoned building, his truth-seeker eyes suddenly caught some weird, low-key energy waves. Bro's radar is pinging! He trekked up to the second floor, and boom! There's this sketchy-looking altar just sitting there. Altar No. 1955. Connected to the Eternal Clock Checkpoint. Lore check. Some clockmaker dude was obsessed with being perfectly accurate, but turns out, his eternal clock was so cracked it ended up being boring as hell. Bro was literally suffering from success. He was so bored he was desperate for some drama. Our MC took one look at this and just had to roast him. Bro is literally bored because he's too successful? Talk about first world problems. I mean, the altar number is high tier, so the loot could be fire, but how are you supposed to trade with time when you can't even touch it? No way to satisfy this NPC's weird-ass requirements, so it's time to ghost him and find a better grind spot. Diving deeper into the boonies, he stumbles upon another altar, this one wrapped in spider webs. Creepy vibes. Altar number 37,112. Connected to the Pig Demon Pilgrimage Checkpoint. Story time. A pig demon mama lost her voice. Her kid is screaming his lungs out every night from nightmares. Rough life. She wants to sing the pig demon lullaby to soothe her baby. After reading that, our boy's brain cells just dipped. Bro, I can barely sing a normal human lullaby without sounding like a dying cat. How am I supposed to drop a pig demon banger? Yeah, that's a hard pass. He turned around and dipped. Taking 2 L's in a row has our guy sweating. Is his luck actually cooked? Just as he was about to rage quit this zone, a faint light from a bus stop caught his eye. He rushed over and saw an altar built entirely out of matches. Weird flex, but okay. Just by standing near it, he felt his vibe get hit with a massive wave of depression. This place is gloomy FR. He insta-activated his truth-seeker eyes. Altar number 23, 333. Connected to the snowy night street corner. In the middle of a blizzard, the little match girl is spiraling. She's confused and feeling sad as hell. She's literally crying because she can't figure out why everyone is ignoring her match game. Rough grind, girl. Our MC is shook. He can't believe it. The classic fairy tale vibes? The endless misery? Is this for real, the little match girl? A whole fairy tale turned into its own dimension? The world building is actually insane. But despite the shock, this one feels solvable. He's got a play here. After a quick sec of big brain thinking, he pulls out a lighter he just bought and drops it right on the matchstick altar. It's a new era, kid. Adapt or get left behind. How are you gonna sell matches if you don't keep up with the tech? The moment he said it, things started going crazy. The dimension started glitching. A weird buzzing noise echoes from deep within the altar, and boom! A massive beam of purple light shoots out like a laser show. Our boy's eyes light up. He rushes to check the loot and finds a matchbox the size of his palm. That's it? That's the whole reward? He's staring at it like, bro, are you kidding me? But grabs it anyway, hoping it's not a complete scam. He checks the stats, and it's a matchbox of hope, epic tier, baby. It automatically generates 5 matches of hope every day at 5 a.m. He reads the description and just goes silent. An epic tier item? And it's just 5 trashy matches? Whatever. He decides to test it out and dumps the matches into his palm. They're common tier, but they're actually low-key fire. They stay lit in wind or water, deal burn damage to monsters, and might actually be goated against those dark light mobs. But 5 matches? That's mid at best. He's about to stash it in his inventory when suddenly, brain blast! If the matches are common tier, what happens if I sacrifice them to the Crimson Throne? That's 5 free bottles of prime blood every single day. Infinite money glitch. He starts tweaking, absolutely buzzing with excitement. We're running an experiment. No time to waste. He sprints to the slaughterhouse like his life depends on it. 20 minutes later, he's back, sweating, and slams 1 match onto the Crimson Throne altar. He's holding his breath, staring at the screen, heart pounding. Next second, the magic happens. A small, dark red vial manifests out of thin air. It's the prime blood. Let's go! He's actually buzzing. The matchbox of hope plus the Crimson Throne? Bro just discovered a game-breaking exploit. 0 risk, infinite gains. This is literally free real estate. He sacrifices the rest and bags 5 full bottles of the good stuff. He chugs them all, and man, his blood is literally boiling. He's feeling the heat. A few minutes pass. He levels up his internal stats and checks his phone. Only 2 hours left until the day resets. Can't waste those last 2 sacrifice slots, nah. His brain goes straight to that eternal clock altar again. It's high tier, it's got time-bending hacks, the rewards are gonna be insane, but what the hell is he supposed to sacrifice to it? He starts scanning the room, and his eyes lock onto an old dusty desk calendar. It's the last thing his dad brought home from the office before he passed. Peep the calendar, bro's got every single detail marked up. The main event? June 7th is circled in deep black, the day his parents met T, and his annual tradition of visiting the graves. Big yikes on the vibes there. Keep flipping, and you hit the 15th, the day he and Xia Weiwei locked it in. Relationship goals, IG, December 24th? That's Xia Weiwei's birthday. Man's really down bad. And the calendar is straight up cluttered with other markers too. Paydays, credit card bills, classmates getting hitched, rent payments. The classic adulting struggle. Good days, bad days, it's all here. It's basically his entire life story mapped out in ink. Suddenly, the whole concept of that time altar starts making way more sense. The way that dude built it? Flawless. Too flawless. No glitches. No stray variables. Which means 0 surprises and 0 accidents. But also, 0 joy and 0 pain. It's a total vibe check. Honestly, that place sounds like a dead world. NPC behavior. But this calendar? This is different. It's carrying the actual trajectory of a real human life. It's messy. It's chaotic. It's full of uncertainty. That's the spice of life. That's what makes time actually alive. The altar doesn't need better tech, fam. It needs an actual taste of what time feels like for a human. Realizing this, he bolts out the door and heads straight for the time altar. He pulls up to the altar, whips out the wall calendar, and places it right in the center like he's performing a ritual. Perfect, lifeless time versus this messy, regret-filled, imperfect life. This is what peak existence looks like. You digging this upgrade? He asks. The moment the words leave his mouth, the calendar vanishes. Time literally freezes, and the whole room goes dead silent. Suddenly, a blinding gold light erupts, lighting up the entire La Wei basement like a rave. A million different life fragments start flashing before his eyes like a glitched-out movie projector. Then, out of nowhere, an ancient-looking pocket watch manifests right on the altar. He instantly pops his Eye of Truth ability to scan it. Clock of Destiny. Legendary tier item. Sheesh. Passive ability. Hyper-awareness of everything about to go down in your immediate vicinity. It basically gives the user reaction time and decision-making speed that's light years ahead of any normal NPC. He reads the description and starts frowning. Bro, What is this even good for? But the second he grips that watch, a surge of cosmic energy hits him, and he realizes, man, he was such a clown for doubting it. This watch isn't just about raw stats or speed. It's about having God-tier IQ and infinite reaction time. Absolute game changer. It's going to take his blood flow and raw stats, which were already built different, and maximize them to perfection. Just to be safe, he tucks the destiny clock into his pocket dimension, only to realize the resonance with the world didn't drop at all. It's still active, baby. Now, if any ops try to sneak him, he won't even need his main trump cards to clap them back with zero effort. He checks the time. 10:40 p.m. Only an hour left until the altar resets, and he gets one last sacrifice pull. He tears the place apart looking for loot, but only finds two mid-tier, useless altars. One connects to a swamp full of graffiti-looking weirdos, and the other leads to some literal beetle paradise. Massive L. Suddenly, he hears some shouting echoing from a distance. Ayo. People are actually out here? He goes full stealth mode, creeping over to investigate. He spots two squads beefing in an outdoor storage yard, and right next to them is an altar glowing with this weird, suspicious pink light. It's shaped exactly like a jade hand. His heart starts pounding because, let's be real, this thing looks sketchier than a basement crypto scam. He activates his truth eyes to inspect the stats. Altar number 9269. Connection. The Palace of Erotic Demons. Basically, a succubus queen who's seen it all and is bored out of her mind with basic pleasure. She's fiending for some physiological stimulation that hits the soul. Bro gasps. The altar number is super low, but why does the lore sound so down bad? Then, he digs into his backpack and realizes he's got an item in there. Wait a minute. Isn't this exactly what she's looking for? Talk about perfect timing. Meanwhile, the drama on the field is escalating. On one side, we've got a bald fraud rocking a massive gold chain and like 10 goons backing him up. The other side? Just 4 people. The leader is a total baddie, tall and stacked. But the bald NPC steps up with a cringe-worthy smirk. Don't make me do this the hard way. You really think you can just swipe our loot and get away with it? Hand over the goods and pay the tribute, and maybe, just maybe, we'll let you live. The girl doesn't even blink. She just drops one word. Get lost. The bald fraud loses his mind. Boys, jump them! As the 10 goons start screaming and charging in, the girl's squad instantly locks into a defensive formation. The baddie draws a steel sword and charges straight into the mob, built like a total main character. Turns out, the rest of her team isn't playing around either. They actually got hands. One of these goons is a total tank, swinging a steel pipe like he's playing baseball, while the other 2 are out here fighting dirty, aiming straight for the downstairs mix-up. Watching his squad getting pushed back, the bald-headed fraud loses his mind and full force kicks the tank, and just like that, the big guy goes flying back like 3 meters. Absolute ragdoll physics. Bro really just speed ran the team's collapse. The tables turned faster than a crypto crash. The girl's teammates are getting folded one by one. Now the bald clown has her cornered against a shipping container, but she's not sweating it. Instead, she gets that I'm about to commit a crime look in her eyes. Time for all of you to catch these hands and go to hell. Baldy realizes he messed up and tries to dip, but nah, she's already crushed a literal heart in her hand. Skill issue on his part. Dark mist floods the entire map, and outsteps this 3-meter-tall cursed unit. Holy hell, that's a dark mode raid boss right there. The thugs are shaking in their boots, but it's about to get way worse. The moment the monster spawns, it does a 180, and rips the tank in half like he's made of wet tissue paper. Baldy is officially looking for the exit to his soul. She's actually unhinged. She's griefing her own team. The NPCs are scattering like roaches, but the boss has lock-on hacks enabled. It's a complete massacre, and we're just watching from the sidelines like, damn, my heart rate is actually spiking. This girl is pure menace, FR. She literally dragged everyone to the Shadow Realm just to save her own skin. She's not even a person. She's a walking, breathing, emotional damage bomb. In a blink, only the bald fraud is left, speedrunning for his life. But the boss just needs one leap to pin his sorry behind to the dirt. A few minutes later, the whole area is just a cursed graveyard. Everyone, the goons, her teammates, they're all just loot drops now. But after finishing its meal, the monster doesn't despawn. It's still hovering around, looking for the next player to delete. Meanwhile, the girl who summoned this thing is hiding behind a pillar, afraid to even breathe. Our boy checks his watch. 11:50 p.m. No more waiting, or today's last chance at a breakthrough is going down the drain. He takes a deep breath, buffs his stats to the max, and charges straight at the psycho girl. Your time's up, fam. She senses the heat coming her way, but she isn't running. Instead, she grips that dagger. Xian sees this chick lunging straight for his heart from the nastiest angle. If this was the old him, he'd be finished. No cap, that hit would have landed. But now? With his blood essence and that pocket watch cheat code, her attack trajectory looks absolutely mid, It's hilariously slow. He can literally see her next move before she even makes it. It's like watching a replay. He shifts his weight, just a subtle lean, and dodges her attack like it's nothing. Before she can even recover, he's already moving in, slicing her arm open like a hot knife through butter. Don't stop now. Slash! There goes the other arm. She's officially armless and starts crying, begging for mercy like a total L-taker. She's like, let's talk about this. Take it easy. Have some mercy on a girl, big guy. But Xian? His gaze is colder than a deep freeze. No sympathy here. If you start a fight, you finish it. No loose ends. He takes that fruit-peeling knife and lunges straight for her throat. That hit was 100% guaranteed. No dodging. But just as the blade is about to kiss her skin, the girl lets out a scream. Boom! She explodes into a pile of gore and blood right in his face. His blade hits nothing but thin air. The mist clears, and she's just gone. Straight up vanished. Shilian's mind is racing. She didn't die? She actually escaped right in front of his eyes? What kind of cursed ability is this? He thought this was a free dub tonight, but damn. This world is running deeper than he thought. Never heard of a survival hack like that, but she's definitely too shook to come back tonight. Suddenly, a roar shakes him out of his thoughts. That shadow beast finally clocked him. As the claws swing for his head, he slides back, dodging the hit by a hair. He uses the monster's lag to his advantage, slicing a deep gash into its leg. The beast tries to counterattack in pain. But in Xian's eyes, it's all in slow motion. The Pocket Watch's prediction buff is actually busted. Within a few exchanges, he's using his speed and footwork to turn this thing into a pincushion, but he's struggling to find the insta-kill spot. He flips on his truth sight bingo. A glowing red spot on the back of its neck. That's the weak point. He baits the beast, stutter-stepping, to make it think it has an opening. As the monster dives in to bite, he uses a flashy jump kick, vaults high, and plunges his knife into its neck with everything he's got. The massive beast goes limp and hits the floor like a sack of bricks. Shilian finally exhales. Huge sigh of relief. Finally finished that boss fight. Not wasting a single second, he reaches into his inventory ring and yanks out the dragon egg. Let's get this bread. Lunchtime, baby! Bro drops the loot right next to the monster's corpse. Let's see what happens. Yo! The dragon egg is literally speedrunning evolution. The blood on the ground is vanishing faster than my motivation on a Monday. Even the monster corpse is drying up like a dehydrated sponge. That egg is built different. A tiny notification pops up on the egg. Hatching progress. 2%. Our boy is low-key hyped. This raise a dragon strategy is actually cooking. He's feeling himself now, so he drags that egg over to the scene of a massive PvP brawl. That egg is vacuuming up blood like a total fiend. Tons of loot orbs are popping up around the corpses. Free real estate! He glances at the loot trash. Absolute NPC gear. He tosses the whole haul into the spatial inventory, saving it all to trade for some high-tier blood essence later. Stonks. Bro is literally farming a bountiful harvest. Absolutely goated. Job done, he sets his eyes on the succubus queen's altar. Time to see if this queen can handle the ice and fire treatment. He pulls out the minty, fresh cooling oil and dabs it right on the altar. Immediately, those jade-white hands come to life like he just hit the respawn button. A flash of purple light wraps around the whole thing. Bro was hoping for that legendary red drop, but nah, just purple. I guess this queen has seen too much content in her life to be easily impressed. But wait, hold up. The purple energy isn't fading. It's literally manifesting a person on the altar. A spectral silhouette starts materializing. He grips his knife, ready to swing, but then the light clears, and sheesh. It's a literal 10 out of 10 waifu. She's got those cute little demon horns and a heart-shaped tail wiggling around. Absolute top-tier design. Bro just pulled a real-life succubus. The RNG is insane today. She locks eyes with our boy, looking straight into his soul. Young man, you've managed to amuse me. As a reward, I'll grant you one wish. Make it count. Her voice is hitting different, and bro is down bad. His blood pressure is definitely spiking in all the wrong places. Damn, he really unlocked a secret wife character. But just as the vibe reaches maximum aura, a super annoying buzzing sound ruins the moment. The dragon egg is vibing too hard, shaking like crazy. Before he can even react, the egg unleashes a gravitational pull that's straight up hacking the server. The succubus's smug face just froze. She's looking at that egg like, wait, that's illegal. She feels the Reaper approaching. That pull is zero chill, and dragging her in like she's on a fishing hook. The second she touches that egg, she gets converted into pure purple energy and gulp. The egg eats her whole. Rip bozo. The silence was louder than a subwoofer at 3 a.m. Bro was standing there frozen, brain completely empty, just buffering. Like, what even just happened? Where'd my epic tier waifu go? The dragon egg on the floor did a little wiggle, then slowly floated back into his arms. He's hugging it, hands shaking, watching the progress bar go absolutely feral. Hatching progress just spiked to 41%. Who knew an epic tier succubus had that much juice? He notices a purple glow pulsing on the egg, with little heart marks popping up. Abyss dragon mixed with love hearts? This egg is moving mad. The egg is literally nuzzling up to him now. He realizes his succubus waifu isn't coming back, she's cooked. He pokes the egg, salty as hell. You better hatch into a top-tier baddie to make up for this, FRFR. Right on cue, lightning flashes, and the sky starts dumping rain. He dipped under a nearby roof to stay dry. The rain washed away all evidence of the fight like it never even happened. He started replaying the fight in his head. The fact that she dipped is low-key pissing him off. She's like a venomous snake lurking in the shadows. He decides to crash a nearby 3-story building to see if he can track her down for a sneaky counterattack. Time to permaban this threat before it gets out of hand. Meanwhile, at the Long Country Special Affairs HQ, some scientist in a lab coat bursts in like he's late for his own funeral. General, big news! We finally cracked the code on this rain. General Lee looks up, totally shook. Spit it out, Doc! Professor Chu takes a deep breath. We analyzed the unknown compound in the rain. It's harmless to regular humans, but it basically acts as a massive debuff for anyone with superpowers. Say what now? General Li's jaw hit the floor, and the whole command center was looking like they'd just seen a ghost. Professor Chu is geeking out. This debuff lasts until the rain evaporates. That's when their powers finally come back online. This means from midnight until 5 a.m., all those self-proclaimed OP superhumans, the second they touch this rain, they're getting hard reset, stripped of their powers, and the general's eyes lit up. If that's the play, they can just pull up in the middle of the rain and snatch those runaway sacrifices while they're mid-panic. Professor Chu kept it 100, dropping the T. This rainwater isn't just basic. You can't bottle this stuff up. But, he added, if we can extract the active sauce, we could cook up some suppressors or high-pressure water cannons. If this actually goes off, we're gonna have the most broken weapon in the lobby. Our boy is chilling in a crusty, abandoned building, stalking the forums for that girl, when suddenly, a post flashes and vanishes into the void. Global alert. Whatever you do, do not go outside in the rain, or you're getting nerfed into an NPC. Bro tried to click it, but the post was already deleted. Speed deleted. He immediately clocked that someone was doing some top-tier censorship. If that intel is legit, that means the psycho lady in the rain can't just blood diff her way out of trouble anymore, right? But then, a wave of pure anxiety hit him. Wait, am I gonna get nerfed too? If I turn into a total casual, how am I supposed to grind? Then he remembered the origin blood he snagged from the blood throne. It said the buff was permanent. It's not some temp power-up or a gear check. It's literally built into his DNA. Even if this rain shreds your armor, it ain't melting these gains. Plus, his dimensional storage is a whole other server. That stuff's immune to the glitch. And the Destiny Watch is tucked in there too. So yeah, my stats are staying goated. While everyone else is getting nerfed to dog status, our boy's debuff is basically 0. Which means I'm officially the only god-tier player in this entire server tonight. Man's heart started thumping like a bass drop. Time to playtest this. Need that confirmation ASAP. Standing there in the rain that everyone else is terrified of, bro couldn't stop smirking. He looked like he'd won the lottery. This rain might be a total reset for every superpower in the game, but it's doing absolutely nothing to his origin blood enhanced build. While the other supers are getting humbled into trash, he's the only main character left standing in the rain. Meanwhile, the woman who saw his cracked stats just blood dashed back to her villa, absolutely shook. Her goons in black were bugging out, and the butler came running, panicking. Miss, who did this to you? You're looking real cooked. Where's Adai and the squad? Yan Ruokshu's eyes were wide with trauma. They're all gone. I almost got clapped by that random dude. That guy is built different. Terrifyingly strong. She immediately ordered the butler to get an artist. She was dying to put a bounty on his head and get a drawing of his face. Back at the slaughterhouse, our guy just returned and dumped all that loot straight into the blood throne to let it cook. Nah, these items are gonna expire in the rain? Waste of time. Might as well turn them into blood essence to get that major glow up. Downed all 4 bottles of that premium blood essence and crashed harder than a server during a launch event. 5 a.m. sharp. Our boy wakes up. He already hit up the chicken farm plug the night before. Early bird gets the worm? Nah, early bird gets a truckload of chickens. He turned into an absolute grinding machine. No mercy, just business. Once he finished bodying all 500 chickens, the dragon egg's incubation progress hit 42.3%. Hold up. 500 chickens only gave a 1.3% boost? Is this egg a literal money pit monster? Or what? Time to pivot the strategy. He's got to play smarter. Turns out, the altar he's got is low-key wrecking the local poultry market. The farm owner is stressed because nobody's buying his birds. So our boy realizes he can just process the stock so the farmers can flip it themselves. He gets paid for the labor, the dragon egg gets its buffet, and everybody wins. Big brain moves. Called up the farm owner and laid the plan on the table. They locked it in. Handshake deal. Easy clap. Afternoon rolls around. Uncle Wang drops off another 500 chickens. The guy's already trying to outsource his homies. Chickens too. Our boy sees right through it. The guy's trying to be a middleman and skim off the top. But hey, until that dragon egg hatches, the more meat, the better. Let him cook. Once Uncle Wang dipped, the flesh and blood factory was back in business. This time, he wasn't speedrunning. He was focused on technique, perfecting the angle and the slice. Bro is actually low-key cultivation training with a knife. He could feel his synergy with the blade hitting a whole new level. That repetitive grind? It's helping him master his power control. FR. By the time the sun set, the egg progress hit 43.6%. Strapped on his bag and stepped out into the night. Nighttime is prime time for the sacrificial grind. Meanwhile, across the city, Xia Weiwei and her boyfriend Zhang Yang pull up to a spot. They're meeting some dude who calls himself Brother Long. After dropping 500k in fees, Brother Long hands them a secret location. They hit the road, driving straight to the coordinates. Zhang Yang is hyped out of his mind on the way, thinking they're about to join Black Eagle, the biggest faction in the city, and finally act like they own the place. Bro really thinks he's the main character. Your loser ex-boyfriend and those other NPCs? Yeah, after today, nobody's gonna dare mess with us ever again. Xia Weiwei's eyes lit up with that. I can't wait to see the chaos energy. That fraud is probably out there, eating dirt in some dumpster. Forgotten by society. Can you believe he even had the audacity to block me? Bro hasn't replied to a single text in days. Talk about moving mad. Meanwhile, our boy just sneezes while wandering around looking for an altar. Bro just had the absolute worst luck of his entire life, only pulling a mid-tier blue quality item. The Noah's Windwalker boots. Like sure, it buffs movement speed, but the moment it rains, it's completely cooked. Trash tier utility. Once he gets back, he's definitely sacrificing this to the Crimson Throne. Maybe he can trade it for some S-tier blood essence instead. Fast forward to 11 p.m. He spots something glowing by the creek. He walks up and, yo, it's a twin altar setup, and the sides are vibing totally differently. On the left, a fire phoenix altar, glowing with that aggressive red aura. On the right, a heavy, cursed-looking great sword altar, zero light, pure menace. He insta-activates his Eye of Truth cheat code and realizes these two aren't just chilling, they're linked. There's a faint thread of energy keeping them synced up. Bro found a literal twin altar. What are the odds? The more he stares, the more his jaw hits the floor. These aren't just random props. The lore behind these things is massive. The Phoenix Altar, serial number 776. Linked to the 9 heavens, top-tier waifu, Nalan Ranran. She's currently down bad and spiraling. 3 years ago, her fiancé, Zhao Huohuo, lost all his drip/power, and the clan elders forced her to break off the engagement. She's at a total crossroads, not knowing if she should fold or keep going. And the altar on the right? That one's just as broken. Altar number 667 connects to the 9 heavens immortal realm, where the former genius Zhao Huohuo is struggling because his cultivation stalled for no reason. He went from being the main character to the biggest fraud in the sector. Everyone hates on him now. He's desperate to level up and escape this L streak, but nobody is helping him out. Our boy checks the intel and his heart is going 100 miles per hour. Wait, Nalan, Ranran, and Xiao Huohuo? Bro, I know exactly how this script plays out. I've seen this anime 1,000 times. Now that I'm the puppet master pulling the strings, what's the move? If I stop Nalan Ranran from ending the engagement, Xiao Huohuo might never trigger his plot armor awakening, and if he doesn't get his power up, I get 0 rewards. So I've got to let the drama play out and add some gasoline to the fire at the perfect time. Even if Nalan Ranran isn't actually cold-hearted, her clan is forcing her to pull the bet. Let's dial up this breakup drama to 11. If we want to maximize those rewards, we gotta push Xiao Huohuo into a corner. No mercy, fam. Our boy pulls out the pen and paper, ready to pour gasoline on this dumpster fire. Nalan Yanran, a phoenix, doesn't waste time vibing with a pathetic little sparrow. The path to godhood is built different. He can't keep up with your glow-up, so it's time to cut the dead weight. He slaps the note onto the Phoenix altar, and yoink. The altar sucks it up like a vacuum, and the paper vanishes. Suddenly, a projection pops up on the altar, and there's Nalan Yanran, straight up sobbing her eyes out, clutching that engagement jade like it's her only lifeline to Zhao Huohuo. Outside, some boomer elder is speedrunning the annoying villain dialogue. Nalan, quit being a simp. The clan made the call. How Xiao is literal trash compared to the Nalan family. It's over. She's clenching her teeth, absolutely tilted. Just then, a glowing red feather floats through the window, lands in her hand, and morphs into that note. She reads the burner text, starts shaking, and mumbles to herself. A phoenix doesn't waste time vibing with a sparrow. The confusion in her eyes? Gone. Reset to factory settings. Her phoenix bloodline is finally hitting different, boiling over with pure hype. She yeets that engagement jade, and crushes it into dust. She didn't even look back, heading straight to the Zhao household with the elder to do the deed. As the projection fades, our MC is officially the puppet master behind this legendary breakup. But where's the loot? Did the altar ghost me? Maybe we gotta wait for the carnage to finish before the rewards drop. He turns his attention to the heavy ruler altar and gets back to his keyboard warrior arc. A lone wolf doesn't bow. It just waits for the storm to flip the world upside down. 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. Don't you dare look down on a broke teen. He finishes writing, feels that main character energy surging, and slaps the note onto the altar. Boom! A massive shockwave hits. The vibes in the Zhao family hall are literally toxic right now. Nalan Yanran is cold as ice, and that elder behind her is looking down on everyone like they're NPCs. The Nalan clan is officially dumping you losers today. Don't be a toad trying to eat swan meat, bro. Don't ever think about ruining our Saintus' future again. The whole squad is laughing at him, and Zhao Huohuo is fuming, his hands clenched so tight they're turning white. He stares her down with that, "I'm going to ruin you later" look. Fine. I'm dumping you first. We're done. Never speak to me again. Then Zhao Huohuo lets out a primal roar at the heavens from the backyard. The hype is real. Just as our boy was hitting rock bottom, a mysterious scroll fell out of nowhere and slapped him right in the face. He opened it, stunned, and saw some absolute main character energy dripped in pure, unadulterated angst. 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. Don't you ever bully a young man just 'cause he's broke. Talk about a classic glow-up mantra. Zhao Huohuo started trembling like crazy, and that dying spark of motivation in his heart? Bro just ignited a full-blown forest fire. My fate is mine to decide, not heaven's. I, Zhao Huohuo, am not catching an L today. The moment his confidence hit maximum levels, that dusty black ring on his finger started glowing like a legendary loot drop. An ancient soul that had been snoozing for centuries finally cracked its neck and woke up, ready to cook. Kid, you've been through hell, but we're changing the meta now. Outside, the energy barrier shattered like glass, and a massive wave of power ripped through the space-time continuum, crashing down onto the altar. Talk about a massive return on investment. The feedback was absolutely insane. Like, what kind of epic tier loot are we even talking about here? He stared at the altar, and the Phoenix altar on the left started leaking dark, cursed energy into the sky. A terrifying aura exploded out of it, literally dripping with pure hate and mid-boss energy. Oh no, not the dark aura again. I'm cooked. Gotta yeet myself out of here. Just then, the heavy ruler altar on the right went nuclear, blasting a beam of red light so bright it basically turned the sky into a rave. He froze in his tracks. Another red teardrop? Ain't no way I'm running away from this loot. Standing there between these two altars, his brain was literally lagging. On one side, we've got that ominous, dark, villain tier energy, and on the other, a legendary red glow that would make any cultivator lose their mind. He stopped running immediately, pivoted, and sprinted straight for the heavy ruler altar. He lunged for the item glowing in the red light and grabbed a dagger radiating some serious dark energy. Suddenly, the ground started shaking like a 9.0 earthquake, and a figure manifested from the dark altar. It looked 70% like Nalan Runran, but the vibes were totally unhinged and feral. Even her voice was vibrating with pure, salty resentment. You're the reason I lost him. He panicked and activated his Eye of Truth to scan the threat. Yo, it's an evil spirit of Nalan Ranran's inner demon. Epic tier. A. Calamity of Grudge. Birthed from a total mental breakdown. Has the same bloodline as Nalan Ranran, and she looks ready to throw hands. Bro's ego was acting up again, so he tried to dip and speedrun his way out of there. But the grudge ghost was moving mad and caught up instantly. It slammed a massive hit straight into his chest. Even though our boy is built like a diamond, he still coughed up a whole buffet of blood. He was shook to his core, thinking, bro, how are we supposed to clear this stage? This is straight up unfair. The ghost didn't even hesitate, diving straight for his throat like a total sweat. His internal danger radar started screaming, so he did a frame-perfect dodge and countered with his dagger. He thought the blade would just ping off, but it sliced through like butter. His eyes lit up instantly. Okay, this dagger is low-key cracked. The ghost realized it was cooked, backed off, and yeeted a black fireball at him. He pulled a sick parkour roll to dodge it, and decided it was time to go on the offensive. If the dagger can pierce the defense, then catching a body isn't just a pipe dream anymore. He activated his truth eyes, and spotted a purple glow in the ghost's gut. That's the weak spot, baby! He went full send, lunging straight for the belly. The ghost tried to parry and swiped at him with a claw, trying to end the game. Our guy switched up his grip midair and shank! Carved a massive line across its stomach. The trade-off? His left arm got shredded by the ghost's claws. Not ideal, FR. The purple glow on the ghost's belly started dimming out. We're winning! Then the real scrap started. Mano a mano. Pure hands. He deepened the wound on its gut, but got sent flying across the room for his trouble. He tried to crawl back up, but bro's spine was definitely feeling like it was about to retire. The ghost's aura was fading fast now. The thing put its hands together, channeling every ounce of its grudge into one final move. A giant blade materialized out of thin air, swinging down to delete him, but our guy was just waiting for this exact moment. He yeeted that 4th stage entry ticket like a pro. The giant blade disintegrated instantly, and the ghost looked absolutely shook, probably regretting all its life choices. Our boy turned on the speed hacks, stabbing the ghost's gut over and over until the combo meter hit the max. The ghost finally face-planted into the floor. GG's. Fight over. He was looking like a absolute mess, covered in injuries. His arm was busted, and his ribs were definitely screaming for help. But even while he was basically falling apart, he didn't forget his real objective, the dragon egg. He snatched that thing up and immediately made it start slurping up the black blood off. Look at that progress bar. It's climbing, finally stalling out at 49.6%. Bro is barely making it. Meanwhile, his eye of truth starts pinging something in the area. Turns out, all that residual cursed energy in the air didn't just dip. Nah, it's all gathering right into that black dagger. He finally remembers to check the stats on this thing. He clicks the eye of truth, and the dagger's specs pop up like a HUD. Basic soul dagger, evolution progress at 97 points. It's a mythic tier growth item, FR Father. It eats up souls, spite, and straight up fear just to level up. Plus, the owner gets a massive buff against mental corruption. His eyes light up. Bro is actually hyped. Another mythic item? And it blocks mental attacks? This is exactly what he's been missing. I mean, sure, Origin Blood is great for boosting physical stats, but if you get mind controlled and turn into a total NPC, what's the point of having high stats? You're just gonna get clapped regardless. This dagger is the missing piece of the puzzle. After catching a breather and regaining some stamina, he checks his phone. 11:45 p.m. He drags his busted-up body toward the slaughterhouse, limping like a total boss. Meanwhile, 3 off-roaders are speeding toward the scene. Xin Feng is in the passenger seat looking pale as a ghost. These guys have been speedrunning a mental breakdown for 2 days straight. First, that insane red light hits the city center, and now there's another red pillar of light hitting the western suburbs. They're desperate to lock in a lead this time. Lin Wan, sitting next to him, sounds like she's about to lose it. Captain Feng, it's 11:50. If we don't get there before midnight, all the combat signatures and energy traces are gonna vanish. They pull up to the scene, and it's a total dumpster fire. Signs of a massive scrap all over the ground, and not far off, a corpse that doesn't even look human anymore. Straight nightmare fuel. Xin Feng starts barking orders to collect evidence, while telling Lin Wan to use her rewind ability. Lin Wan steps up, puts her hands together, and closes her eyes. A soft blue glow starts radiating out. But right as the vision starts to form, she suddenly starts tweaking, trembling like crazy. She hacks up a lungful of blood and passes out cold. Xin Feng panics and tries to catch her, but then the rain starts pouring, and a massive lightning bolt rips across the sky. The clock strikes midnight, and the rain pulls a pro-gamer move, washing away every single clue. The altar? Gone. The blood? Yeeted out of existence. But hold up, one of the squad members slides into the DMs just in time. Boss, we actually snagged a few drops of that blood. Xin Feng is absolutely losing it, grinding his teeth in frustration. Report this to HQ immediately! Everyone's pulling an all-nighter tonight, no cap! Meanwhile, our boy finally limps his way back to his dungeon/morgue. Man is looking rough. It took him over 2 hours just to walk back with those injuries. But the first thing he does? He immediately sacrifices those windwalking boots to the Crimson Throne. Zero hesitation. And boom! A brand new potion bottle spawns out of thin air. It's some premium grade Origin Blood. The description says it gives you a massive vitality buff after absorption. Xin Feng sees those stat boosts, and his eyes light up. He's hyped, downs the whole thing in one shot, no chaser. Suddenly, his body starts glitching out. He's vibrating like he's running on a faulty engine. He can feel raw power rampaging through his veins like a speedrun glitch. His bones and wounds are literally healing in real time. It's a total body glow-up. This Origin Blood is straight up cracked. The ultimate healing hack. A few minutes later, the scabs are already forming. He grabs his dagger, feeling ready to cause some problems. That fight tonight, it basically bonded him to this weapon. They're synced up now. Tomorrow, it's back to the grind. And by grind, I mean mass murdering chickens. Every chicken he claps is going to level up his attack technique, speedrun the Dragon Egg's incubation, and max out the dagger's mastery. Talk about a triple threat combo, bro. Has created the perfect infinite loop. Next morning, he wakes up, and he's basically good as new. The healing factor is goated. He pulls out 5 fresh matches to sacrifice. Let's see what we get. He drains 4 more vials of Origin Blood, getting absolutely juiced. He hits up Old Man Wang from the poultry farm, telling him, "Yo, empty out your inventory. Send me every single chicken you've got." Fast forward, and 200 chickens are delivered to his doorstep. It's clucking time. He draws his soul dagger and starts the training arc. After a whole morning of farming, that dagger is sitting at 197 points of mastery. The dragon egg is finally showing some progress too. We're officially at 54% completion. The grind is real. And then, the egg decides to finally wake up. A tiny crack appears on the shell. Something's trying to break out. Suddenly, a fluffy tail pokes through, and it's got that signature heart-shaped tip. Bro is about to hatch something absolutely legendary. Didn't that succubus's tail get devoured exactly like this? Good, good. As expected of the dragon egg I've been grinding to raise. You better hatch me a waifu dragon girl, no cap. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Nian Ruoxu and her squad just pulled up to an abandoned junkyard. And walking right beside her? It's Xia Weiwei. Turns out, our girl Xia Weiwei got some main character level luck and leveled up to become a core member of the Black Shadow Underground Syndicate. Suddenly, Xia Weiwei gets a bit sus and asks, "Are you sure a high-level beast is hiding in this dump, sis?" Nian Ruoxu whips her head around, giving her a cold side-eye. "Don't think just, 'cause you're lucky you can talk trash. This man is built different. To a total NPC like you, he'd fold you with just one finger. If it weren't for a mole reporting a red light in this sector last night, she wouldn't have risked catching this L." Up on the rooftop of a nearby decaying building, a shadow is silently scoping out the squad. Report. Investigation Bureau. We've spotted a suspicious target at the west side abandoned yard. Dealing with all the paranormal chaos in Jiangju, a dark smirk finally crawls across Xinfeng's face. Finally, a lead. Let's get it. After copping the dragon egg and a mythical tier dagger, he just speedran, killing 1,000 chickens in a single morning. Absolute grind set. His soul dagger and dragon egg stats are skyrocketing. He's feeling goated and ready to hit the city for some sacrificial gains. But the moment he steps into the busy pedestrian street, he hears a straight-up, pathetic, mid-tier scream. There's some middle-aged dude bawling his eyes out over an empty box. "My wife dipped? My daughter won't even look at me. What's even the point of living anymore?" The security captain standing nearby looks like he's having the worst shift ever. "Bro, you think we're a wishing well or something? Should have thought about the consequences before becoming a D-gen gambler, my guy." Everyone around is whispering and roasting the dude. Our boy gets the full context just from the NPCs yapping in the background. Turns out this man sold his entire house just to cop a piece of jade for today's sacrifice. The result? The altar gave him a literal stick. A useless stick. Talk about getting scammed. He turns his gaze toward the altar that caused this massive L, and it's looking weirdly sus, glowing with that golden aura. No wonder this man was down bad enough to bet his whole life on it. He instantly activates his Eye of Truth on altar number 17, 626, and realizes it's tapped into a hidden vault of goblin gold. Turns out, there's a goblin monk out there who's bored of hoarding gold and is literally obsessed. Seeing the intro, our boy just rolls his eyes like, "Bro, really? Imagine going broke just to buy a jade ring for some tech-obsessed gremlin." This whole situation was literally destined to be a massive L from the start. Right on cue, the security captain signals his goons to drag the guy out. Suddenly, a wild voice with maximum main character energy cuts through the crowd. Hold up. Out steps this absolute baddie, Xia Weiwei. Man, the NPC crowd doesn't even know what to do with themselves. She hits Sayam with the haughty chin-up, soaking in all that thirsty attention before locking eyes with the middle-aged loser. If you're dead, it's game over for real. 0 respawns. You want a second chance to get your bag back? You can literally see the hope reignite in this man's eyes like he just got a second monitor. Want? I'm desperate. Sign me up. I'll do whatever you want. Just say the word. If you want daily sacrifice items to gamble with, get on my team. Xia Weiwei snaps her fingers and her bodyguards instantly haul the guy up like a sack of potatoes. The crowd is shook. Is this girl literally doing charity work, or what? Usually, it's rich kids simping for the girls, right? Why's the script flip-flopping so hard right now? Two thugs on the sidelines hear the gossip and just scoff. You guys are so clueless. She's not being nice. She's farming him. A lot of people are too broke for sacrifices, but some of these dudes have plenty of cash to burn. The problem? They're limited on how many times they can sacrifice. That's where these human trash tier players come in. Anything good they pull from the gacha, they gotta hand it over. If they get a W and pull something legendary, they get to live it up with gourmet food and luxury. But if they keep taking L's and pulling nothing, then they're just getting milked until they're completely cooked. Once they're dry and have nothing left to offer, they're just trash to be cleared out. Literally, a living, breathing slot machine. Our MC heard every word, but he's got main character apathy. Other people's drama isn't his problem. But the moment he tries to dip, a voice calls out, "Yo, you! Hold up a sec." He knows it's Xia Weiwei, but he's busy grinding his own path, and couldn't care less, so he keeps it moving. "Hey, stop right there. Are you deaf, bro?" I said, "Stay right there, bro." In a split second, A squad of suit-wearing NPCs swarmed him like they were in a mid-tier mob flick. He had no choice but to stop. As he turned around, he saw Liu Runyan rocking a twisted, cringe-worthy grin. Ever since she simped for the Shadow Syndicate, the city's biggest group of ops, she'd been getting major buffs, turning her into some kind of main character in their ranks. But our boy here? He was the literal thorn in her side, a total fraud who had the audacity to block and delete her, yet here he was, walking right into her trap like a free loot drop. She crossed her arms, looking down at him with max-level arrogance. Blocked me, but couldn't help yourself, huh? Regret hitting different now, isn't it? Too bad, bro. You're already cooked. The crowd erupted into loud laughs and toxic whispers. Who's this random twink? Where'd he crawl out from? Sounds like an ex-boyfriend situation, yikes. Imagine being a literal toad trying to eat swan meat. Absolute L-taker behavior. Meanwhile, our boy's stomach was literally screaming for food. He couldn't care less about this mid-villainess. Seeing him ignore her like she was an NPC, Liu Runyan absolutely lost it. You still trying to act cool, bro? She kicked off her high heel, and in front of everyone, started peeling off her black stocking. Pure, unhinged energy. Isn't this the attention you wanted? Get on your knees and kiss my toes, and I might just toss you 20k for some dog food. She whipped out a fat stack of cash like she was the main boss of the server. The crowd started tweaking. Lucky bastard! Get down there and lick it! Do it! Do it! Why is the goddess even giving this trash a chance? Can I take his spot instead? The trash talk and the brain-dead chanting snapped our boy out of his hunger-induced daze. Hold up. What is this clown yapping about? Is this broad seriously holding me up for my street food run? Liu Runyan saw him still standing there unbothered and screeched. I said, kneel, you loser. But before she could finish her sentence, crack! The sound of that slap was so loud it muted the entire chat. Liu Runyan's face snapped back, and a massive red handprint appeared on her cheek in 4K. Our boy followed up with another clean shot, sending her flying to the ground. She was absolutely floored. Liu Runyan was holding her face, straight up glitching in disbelief. Her bodyguard NPCs finally realized their boss got clocked and rushed him. 1, 2, 3, thud! They didn't even last a second before they were sent flying, screaming into the void. Our boy walks straight up to Havivi, looking at her shaking self with pure disgust. You think you're actually worth my time? Then he just dips, acting like he owns the place. Everyone else is straight up stunned, watching him leave like he's the main character. Suddenly, some guy in the crowd pulls out his phone, reporting. Target, Peacock, got into a massive scrap at the pedestrian street. Turns out, ever since Mhim Nuok Tuyet and Havivi showed up at that abandoned shipyard, they've been on the watch list of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. And Peacock is actually the code name for Liu Nhu Yen. The intel team is tracking their every single move. The guy keeps reporting. The other party seems to be her ex-boyfriend, and honestly, bro is built different. He clapped those bodyguards like it was nothing. Over at the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, Tanfong gets the report and just says, bet, got it. Just a minor scuffle. File it and keep watching. But Lin Van, who's nearby deep in research, suddenly speaks up. Wait a sec. She zooms in on the grainy crime scene photo the agent sent over. The figure is blurry, but something about him feels familiar, like she's seen him somewhere before. Tanfong stops what he's doing and glances over. You sure you've seen him? But no matter how hard Lin Van tries, she can't place him. Maybe I'm just stressed out from the workload. Tanfong's eyes sharpen as he stares at the screen. Run a background check on Liu Nhu Yen's ex-boyfriend. Immediately. If he can fold those bodyguards that easily, he definitely got some loot from the Alcatraz. Meanwhile, our boy heads to his usual street food spot. Still the same vibe. Loud as ever. Total chaos. He grabs a seat and orders his favorites, but notices a middle-aged guy in his 40s walking his way. The guy is clutching a red bag, weaving through the drinkers, and stops right at the table next to him. Hey bosses. Sorry to bother, but I got something here. Take a look. Just unboxed this today. Pure blue light item. Blue light? The dudes at the table are confused, but then the guy pulls a fancy blue and white porcelain teacup out of the bag. They grab it, curious as hell. They pass it around, shining their flashlights on it to inspect the quality, but they're staring at it like NPCs. They have no clue. That bearded dude was losing his patience, waving his hand like, spit it out, UNC, what does this thing even do? How much are you trying to finesse us for? The middle-aged guy gritted his teeth and held up 3 fingers. I mean, the effects are currently, unknown. Beardman literally spat out his drink mid-gulp. 30k? Are you actually tweaking right now? You're trying to sell a dusty, broken teacup with 0 stats for 30 grand? You're cooked, bro. The guy tried to explain himself, but he got absolutely roasted and shut down before he could even start. Our boy had been watching the whole scene, and his Eye of Truth cheat code instantly activated, scanning that mid-looking teacup. Stillness cup. Elite tier. Can store gray mist. Seeing those hidden stats, he did the classic anime gasp. Holy. This is actually a top-tier god item. Like Grey Mist can reformat any superpower, but nobody has a way to store the stuff. But if you store even a little, one splash is enough to permanently brick any top-tier metahuman's abilities. Instant nerf. I gotta cop this. Fast. With that move in mind, he called the middle-aged guy back over. The guy scrambled over, desperate. Boss, you looking to check out my wares? Look. This thing is legit blue light, rank, I swear. The bearded guy at the next table immediately piped up, trying to save him. Little bro, don't be a clown. Don't fall for it. One look, and you can tell this guy is a total fraud. Real blue light gear costs way more than 30K. You're getting scammed. Our MC just smirked and nodded, gesturing for the middle-aged guy to sit down. Ma'am, bring us 2 chicken legs and a massive plate of beef stir-fry noodles. I'm starving, UNC. Pile on the meat. The middle-aged guy was shook. He expected to get booted, not wined and dined. Bro looks harmless, but is he about to pull a scam on me? He wondered. Once the food hit the table, the guy started inhaling the meal like he hadn't eaten in a decade. Once he finally wiped his mouth, our boy made his move. I'll take the blue porcelain cup. Turns out, the guy's name is Zhao. He used to be a high-end investment analyst, but his daughter got hit with a heavy illness, and it drained his entire bank account. Totally down bad, he was desperate enough to sell his family heirloom teacup just to get by. Deal sealed. Our boy took Zhao Gang to go collect the bag. On the way, Zhao Gang was clutching that blue and white porcelain cup, looking low-key stressed. Little bro, you really trust me that much? Hearing that, our MC just stopped dead in his tracks. Look, UNC, I don't believe in the cup. I believe in the energy of a father who'd literally go beast mode to save his daughter. In this world, the real loot isn't some shiny artifact. It's that spark in your eyes that hasn't gone out yet. Bro had been taking L's and getting disrespected for way too long, so hearing that hit different. He was honestly down bad. Little bro, I'm not gonna forget this. Real ones remember. I swear, if I ever make it big, I'm paying you back tenfold, no cap. Our boy didn't hesitate. He pulled out the bag. When he dropped that heavy-ass $30,000 into Unk's hands, the man literally broke down. He started shaking, ready to drop to his knees and worship the ground our guy walked on. But the MC just caught him like, nah, we don't do that here. They swapped info, and UNC dipped into the crowd. Watching him leave, our MC started thinking about his Crimson Throne back home. That thing is a total glutton. Needs a massive amount of trash items to farm, primal blood, just to level up his stats. So he's got to go on a shopping spree for all the junk that everyone else thinks is worthless. Plus, he needs someone he can trust to act as a permanent supplier. This Zhao Gang guy? Definitely worth keeping around for the endgame. He whipped out his phone to check the time. 7:40 p.m. Less than 4 hours until the gray rain hits. Time to start the ritual. Suddenly, the square ahead turned into a total circus. Everybody started tweaking. Yo, what's up with the moon? The bright full moon was getting absolutely bodied, being swallowed by a layer of straight-up blood red. In less than a minute, it went full blood moon. Our boy felt his heart drop. Major red flag. Anyone who's touched a game in their life knows a blood moon equals curses and total chaos. What the actual hell is going on? The whole crowd was vibrating with anxiety. The vibes were officially rancid. Everyone's face looked ghostly, bathed in that weird, cursed crimson light. He hopped on the forums to check the pulse, but the chat was just spamming theories about the blood moon. It's over. We're cooked. I got a bad feeling someone's about to get folded tonight. Calling it now. Blood moon equals double drop rates for legendary loot. Let's go. Shut up, you NPCs. What does the blood moon actually do? He looked at a nearby altar. Looked like some rusty ancient harvester from a horror game. Since the blood moon was making everything go glitchy, he didn't waste time. He activated his Eye of Truth. Altar number 2247 is officially locked into the scrapyard coordinates. Imagine a vending machine just roaming the junkyard, literally obsessed with collecting every currency under the sun. The blood moon's influence is kicking in. Only 10 sacrifices left on the counter. Suddenly, this absolute gambler tosses his last coin into the altar. Bro is down bad, putting his entire net worth on the line. The coin vanishes, and the sacrifice counter drops by 1. The grind never stops. But here's where it gets cursed. The item drops with 0 glow, and it's wrapped in some creepy, bloody, bone-like coating. Even if you were standing right next to it, you couldn't see a thing inside. Total mystery box vibes. Our boy's heart is doing backflips right now. Ever since the blood moon dropped, these altars are limited edition. Plus, they aren't giving off the usual lucky pull glow anymore. What kind of loot are we talking about? Only the player who sacrificed knows. No spoilers allowed. For our MC, this is a massive W waiting to happen. Even in the middle of a crowded street, if he pulls 3 red lights in a row, everyone just assumes he's pulling trash, which is perfect for his stealth moves. Gotta speedrun finding these altars before the timer hits 0. He knocks out 2 sacrifices fast, but the RNG? Absolute mid. One dropped a blue tier longsword. Sure, it cuts through iron like butter and has crazy durability, but bro already has a Mythic tier soul dagger. This sword is basically just snacks for his crimson throne now. Trash tier. The other altar gave him the Beast's Rage purple tier shoulder armor. It comes with an active skill, basically a rage mode stat boost that hits like a truck, but the debuff afterward? A massive L. You're basically a sitting duck. Looks like feeding it to the origin blood is the only way to make it useful. Wonder if epic grade origin blood actually tastes like anything. Finally, at the corner of the street, he spots a Truth Eye altar getting activated. Altar. No 1050. Connected to the Lost Star C coordinates. Some ancient observer just got lost at the edge of the galaxy, and the light he chased his whole life just went dark. Desperate to find a glimmer of hope, he realized he only had 7 sacrifices left. The first thing he thought of? The hope match. But bro already sacrificed his matches to the Crimson Throne, and normal lighters just don't hit the same. They lack that main character energy. He searched his pockets, down bad, until he found the only thing left. An ATM receipt. For Zhao Gang, that receipt was the literal lifeline for his daughter. A legit W for a young stranger helping someone out. If that's not the definition of humanity's undying light, then what is? He said YOLO, threw the receipt onto the altar, and sent it. Suddenly, a weirdly comforting sigh echoed right in his ear. Out of nowhere, a glowing 5-pointed star materialized on the altar. He hit it with the Eye of Truth. Star of Hope. Legendary rarity. One-time consumable. The passive? It's a literal cheat code. If the user kicks the bucket, it automatically procs, fully regenerating their flesh, soul, and HP bar to 100%. His eyes went wide. Holy. Another revive item? This is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. Its value is literally off the charts. Broke the meta FR. He stashed that Star of Hope into his inventory and speed-ran his way back home. Scrolling through the forums on the way, he realized something was moving mad. A famous altar nearby just went full Hiroshima and exploded after being farmed too hard. The post had pics of the aftermath. That altar was just a pile of rubble. The comment section? Absolute chaos. Wait, altars can actually break? Some dude did the math. I'm pretty sure they shatter after 10 sacrifices. Others were like, out with the old, in with the new. Maybe if we break all the altars we'll get better loot. The sub was warring, but the official account was dead silent. Looks like the devs weren't expecting this either. Total L for the system. This Blood Moon event is definitely not simple. Is the shattered altar a blessing or a curse? Nobody knows. He needs to convert that new gear into raw power before things get spicy. On the way back, he spotted a few altars nobody was using, still sitting at the full 10 sacrifices. Turns out, not many people are hanging around the outskirts. As soon as he hit the slums, he yeeted that blue tier longsword into the Crimson Throne as a sacrifice. After chugging that elite grade blood essence, he pulled out the epic tier shoulder armor. The Crimson Throne started vibing/shaking, feeling like it was about to evolve. Suddenly, a purple flask appeared. Epic grade blood essence. The grind pays off. Time to chug this and max out those stats. Let him cook. Bro didn't even hesitate, just tilted his head back and chugged the whole thing. This apocalypse grade blood essence is basically a literal nuke. The energy hit his system like an absolute freight train. His muscles are straight up tweaking, expanding, and reforming like he's going Super Saiyan. Is this really the raw power of the apocalypse grade serum? Sheesh. Our boy's feeling so cracked right now, he thinks he could punch through the entire basement wall like it's made of wet paper. He checks his phone. 11:59 p.m. He starts scrolling the live stream, waiting to see what happens when the clock hits midnight. On screen, some dude is standing in front of a gourmet altar built out of random food scraps. The streamer's like, I thought this altar was gonna hook me up with some lobster or something. But after the blood moon hit, the altar didn't despawn. It just stayed there, menacingly. He tries to start the sacrifice ritual, but suddenly, the whole altar starts shaking like it's having a seizure. A massive, tentacle-covered monstrosity crawls out of the void, and a mouth the size of a dumpster fills the entire screen. The stream cuts to black instantly, and all you hear is the sound of wet crunching. The chat is absolutely losing their minds. Everyone's screaming, what the actual F just happened? A giant tentacle beast just crawled out of the altar. Poor streamer didn't get his lobster, he got turned into a snack. Wait, why are there monsters spawning downstairs at my place too? Government, where are you? Send help. Suddenly, a blood-red emergency alert from the Long Kingdom gets pinned to the top of every feed. The blood moon has corrupted the altars. Stay inside and keep your heads down, people. If you're strong enough to fight, link up with others to survive the calamity. Stay safe. Reading the alert, it finally clicks. The blood moon is a literal key. Any altar that didn't hit the 10 sacrifice quota by midnight? It just got unlocked, and the gate is wide open. But nothing divine is coming out of those gates. Just pure chaos and monsters tracking the coordinates. Feeling the resonance of the Star of Hope and the Bracelet of Destiny, his aura just leveled up exponentially. Then he remembers that dragon egg that's about to hatch. These monsters aren't threats. They're just free XP and nutrients for his pet. Time to move. He's heading out. The hunt is officially on. He creeps out to track down some monsters and spots an altar nearby almost instantly. There's a woman in a blood-red cloak standing there. He activates his Eye of Truth. It's a Blood Witch common grade. As expected, the first wave of Blood Moon mobs is total bottom-tier trash. He lets out a cold smirk and slides into the shadows. With a flash of his dagger, he teleports behind her and stabs the Blood Witch straight through the heart. Absolute lethality. A piercing scream rips through the night, and that witch literally turns into a puddle of black sludge. No cap. Straight evaporated. At the same time, the nearby altar goes kaboom. Massive skill issue. From the pile of rubble, a tiny glowing item pops out. It's an altar shard, the stuff keeping the whole thing running. Bro doesn't even know what it does, so he just tosses it into his inventory and pulls out the dragon egg instead. The egg starts chugging that witch's blood like a pre-workout drink. Hatching progress hits 55.8%. We're moving up in the world, boys. Whatever black aura was left. The soul dagger inhaled that too. Maturation level is at 2/14 now. Turns out killing monsters is way more efficient than farming chickens. Who knew? This Blood Moon event is basically a high-level XP farm. We're grinding all night, baby. After a quick scan, he locks onto target number 2. A giant horn monster. Mid-tier trash, honestly. One punch. Zero effort. Down it goes, and another altar shard is in the bag. Bro is absolutely locked in, straight farming these altars. People out here acting like the Blood Moon is the apocalypse. Meanwhile, this GigaChad is just seeing infinite loot and rare resources everywhere. Suddenly, he frowns. Ahead, there's a bone demon monster munching on an altar like it's a snack. It's an elite grade, which is a different vibe. Elite gear equals that sweet, sweet blue tier loot. He decides it's time to cook and launches a flying kick straight at it. Plot twist. The thing spins around and its whole body starts glowing red. Aura overload. That kick barely pushed it back a few meters. Zero damage. Not even a scratch. Okay, so elite tier isn't just about stats. They've actually got mechanics now. Respect. He doesn't care. He's running it back immediately. Cut to an old, crusty factory. Two siblings are hiding behind a container, shaking in their boots. A monster is cornering them, stumbling closer like it's had one too many. The brother grips his rusty pipe, but the monster is already in his face. No room to breathe. Zero hesitation. The brother shoves his sister aside and charges the monster head-on. Absolute main character energy. The monster instantly raises a massive bone blade. It's over for him. The sister watches in horror as her brother gets sliced in two. Brutal. Meanwhile, up on the snowy mountain, soldiers are desperately trying to hold the line. They're dumping mags into the swarm, but the bullets are just doing chip damage. Pure spark show. The captain screams at them. We might be cooked, but we keep fighting. If these things reach the village, it's game over for everyone. Over in the Gobi Desert, a 5-man squad is looking straight up cooked and bruised, but they're acting like they just hit the jackpot. Turns out, these NPCs actually took down an elite tier disaster mob. Massive W. The captain picks up 3 altar shards like he's holding gold bars. The higher-ups are desperate to study these things and are dropping top-tier prices for them. Free clout and money. FR. We gotta keep that grind set up tonight, boys, they say. The red-headed girl just scoffs, giving a cold vibe check. She's like, we're cracked, we've been grinding all night, and only bagged 5 shards. Even the government sweats can't keep up with our efficiency. No cap. Do the higher-ups really think these shards are just lying around for free? Scene switch to our MC wiping sweat off his forehead, complaining, bruh, another L night, literally zero progress. He absolutely shredded a bone demon earlier, but the thing didn't drop a single drop of blood, doing absolutely nothing for his dragon eggs hatch progress. Total scam. This game is rigged. He tosses 3 altar shards into his inventory, and melts back into the shadows. Back to the grind. He's manifesting a dragon waifu tonight. He's not stopping until this whole zone is completely spawn-camped and empty. The egg is almost ready to pop, but the map is totally dead. Not a single mob left to farm. He's busy daydreaming about his kills tonight. Common mobs were getting deleted on sight. Only the elite ones with actual mechanics put up even a mid-tier fight. Like this one massive steel beast that was immune to spirit walls and slash damage. Straight up annoying. But our boy just laughed, walked up, and turned it into scrap metal with a few combos. GigaChad energy. Then there was that elite tier nightmare mob trying to flex its illusion hacks. It put him in a themed hotel room, where he sees Jia Weiwei and her rich boy toy. Zero reaction. He didn't even blink. Just clapped them both and sent them to the afterlife to be lovebirds in the underworld. Once the illusion dropped, that nightmare mob was basically free loot. Just squashed it like a bug. Suddenly, he gets a vibe check from the sky. Looks up, and the red moon is fading fast. Checks his phone. 4 a.m. Bro, does the blood moon really just log off at 4 a.m. sharp? L timing. He checks his stat menus for the Dragon Egg and the Spirit Wall. Dragon Egg is at 82.8%. We're getting there. Spirit Wall growth is at 647. Honestly, it's not even hitting that mythical status yet. Pretty mid. But once that bar hits 100%, it's going to be a total glow up. He counts his 31 shards in his inventory. W result. He nods, satisfied, and heads home to crash. Back at the slaughterhouse, he swaps some salt for prime blood like a true regular, hits the bed, and passes out instantly. And of course, he enters some absolute fever dream cutscene. Bro turns into a giant ant, just zooming through a tunnel like his life depends on it. Classic brain rot. Behind him was a giant meat grinder. Stop moving for even a second, and you're absolute toast. Ahead of him? A pile of razor-sharp shards getting pulverized by the machine. Bro's soul literally left his body just looking at that. Suddenly, this ice-cold voice echoes out of nowhere. Eat them all, or you're officially cooked. He jolts awake. The nightmare was wild, but that hunger from the dream? Way too real, fam. He's sitting there, mind completely fried, trying to process what just happened. Finally calming down, he grabs his phone off the nightstand. He logs into the forum out of habit, and his face instantly goes pale. The screen is flooded with blood-red posts. The engagement is insane, literally eclipsing the Blood Moon event from last night. The Blood Moon was a massacre. People are dropping like flies. SOS. Help! Somebody help me! My neighbor Old Wang is dead, and his wife is sobbing her lungs out. I'm trying to console her, but honestly, looking at these altars is giving me major trauma. Everyone's losing it. Some are traumatized, some are just coping with memes. It's a total vibe check of chaos. Screaming, hate posting, and straight up trolling in every single thread. But one notification catches his eye and makes him freeze. It's a pinned, glowing red announcement. Official government notice. 1. To manage the crisis, we've launched a new portal. All citizens, get in there and register ASAP. 2. We're officially recruiting for the TIA, Dragon Guards. If you're built different and ready to serve, sign up on the portal. Our recruiters will slide into your DMs. 3. As of today, the government is buying up altar shards with no limit. A cool $2,000 a pop? Now that is the real tea. He narrows his eyes, thinking, the Dragon Guards, huh? Sounds like a vibe. It's clear they're trying to gather all the main characters and random grinders from the streets into one squad. But on the forum, the only thing that matters is the altar shards. Everyone's out here theory crafting, trying to figure out what those shards actually do. The government's price is high, but most of these NPCs don't have the skill to actually farm them. He thinks about the 31 shards sitting in his inventory. That's 620k in the bag, easy. Back in the day, he could have worked for a decade and still wouldn't have that kind of bread. But he's not selling yet. He doesn't know what these shards are for, and he's not about to fumble the bag early. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. It's Zhao Gang. Boss Su, thanks for the save, man. You're a real one. I've got the cash for your daughter's meds, but I need to ask you something else. Hearing the dude's gratitude, our boy felt a little something in his heart. Hey, spill it, what's up? My wife and I went sacrifice grinding today. We pulled a light bulb and a white tier axe. We know it's bottom tier trash, but we're genuinely broke, bro. So I wanted to ask if you're still buying. I'll take whatever you think it's worth. The guy's voice on the other end was getting quieter, probably realizing he's pushing his luck and looking a bit thirsty. But our boy caught a major vibe in that sentence. Seems like the Gov and those other big shot orgs are sleeping on this low tier junk. Right now, only his new Crimson Throne cheat code can actually turn this trash into W's. A GigaChad plan started forming in his head. He didn't even blink. Bet, I'll take him. Name the spot for tonight. We'll talk when I get there. After hanging up, he started calculating. Just picking up trash himself is way too slow, man. But if he plays the boss and builds a massive recycling empire, that's the move. The timing is peak. Now he just needs to see if Uncle Zhao can pass the vibe check. Next, he hits up Boss Wang. Yo, Boss Wang, swing by and grab those chickens from yesterday, and bring 800 more while you're at it. Boss Wang was hyped and said yes immediately. Before you know it, a whole truckload of chickens pulled up. Our boy turned into a full-on chicken-slaying machine. Blades moving like a blur. By 4:30 p.m., he wiped the sweat off his forehead. Task complete. The Dragon Egg progress hit 85%, and the Soul Wall is sitting at 720 points. We're cooking. At 5:30, he rolled up to a dusty residential complex and called Zhao Qiang. Shortly after, he followed the guy back to his crib. The apartment was dark and crusty, but at least the place was clean. There were kids' drawings on the walls. Probably Zhao's daughter's art. Our boy felt a flicker of emotion. Uncle Zhao, you're the only one home right now? Zhao Qiang's expression went dark. My wife and kid are stuck in the hospital, and it's looking rough. We've been living in that hospital ward basically full-time lately. I only came back today to offload these 2 items and scrape together some cash. As he said that, he pulled out 2 pieces of junk. Our MC stays calm and activates the Eye of Truth to scan the goods. A light bulb and a rusty iron axe. FR? They're just basic tier white items. Aside from being useless decorative pieces for the Crimson Throne event, they're straight up trash. Zhao Gang looks at him, sweating bullets, hoping for a payday. 500. Is that okay? Or maybe 500 for both? He's low-key shaking as he says the number, terrified that the MC is going to call him a fraud and dip. MC hears the price, and low-key does a double take. Selling white tier items for 500? That's basically charity. Anyone with a brain would snatch those up instantly. MC doesn't pull the trigger yet, instead hitting him with, "Yo, you know a lot of people, UNC?" Zhao Gang hits him with the sad face. "My old homies see me and treat me like an NPC they gotta avoid. The only people I talk to now are other patients." MC realizes he just found his golden ticket. He pulls out a shrine shard and asks if the guy knows what it is. Zhao Gang's pupils dilated. Bro was shook. "I saw this on the forums, man. You gotta clap monsters during the blood moon to get these to drop. The government has an official bounty on these for 20k. No cap." Zhao Gang takes a deep breath, trying to keep his cool. "Boss Su, you trying to get me to move this for you?" MC sees the respect in his eyes, taps him on the shoulder, and goes straight for the partnership play. "Take this shard, you go flip it. I only need 20k. Anything over that, you keep as your cut." Zhao Gang snaps his head up like he heard wrong, his face shifting from "let's go" to "is this a scam? Don't even worry about bringing the cash to me. I need you to hit up your patient group and start buying up all the gear they've got. I don't care how much you scoop up. Every single item you bring me, I'm sliding you 500 as a finder's fee. And it's not just 2 for 500 total. I'm paying you 500 for each one." Zhao Gang's pupils dilated instantly. His brain started overclocking like a PC running 50 Chrome tabs. His internal financial analyst mode kicked in, and he crunched those profit margins in record time. Bro realized this was an infinite money glitch. As long as he bought them for under 500, he'd be swimming in cash. But hold up. Something felt sus. Like, zero chance a deal this cracked actually exists in this economy. What is this kid actually plotting? Zhao Gang's voice sounded like he'd been swallowing gravel. "You're doing this for a reason, right? What's the catch? Working with a smart guy? Love to see it. Look, UNC Zhao, I'm literally handing you a golden ticket. But yeah, my conditions are pretty basic. First, no matter what price you buy or sell these scraps at, you never, and I mean never, mention my name. To everyone else, I basically don't exist. Ghost mode enabled. Your only job is to build your own private trade network. You picking up what I'm putting down?" Zhao Gang felt his heart skip a beat. This is top tier NDA or you're dead energy. Boss Su is trying to stay hidden in the shadows. Absolute mastermind behavior. Translation: whatever Su is cooking is so spicy it could get him deleted if word got out. And Zhao Gang? He's basically the pawn being shoved to the front lines, or more like a human firewall for the boss's operation. High risk, high reward. You want the bag? You take the heat. Su looked him dead in the eyes, no cap. Second, if you get scammed with fake gear, that's a you problem. You eat the loss. So, UNC, better start sharpening those eyes before you pick your partners. I need results, I need consistency, and I need a steady supply. But hey, you can always say no. I'll still buy these 2 for 1,000 right now. But after that, we're strangers. The choice is yours. Pick your lane. The room went dead silent. Just the sound of Zhao Gang hyperventilating. The aura this kid is radiating? Built different. It's actually suffocating. Option A is basically walking a tightrope over a shark tank. Option B is playing it safe and staying broke. But Zhao Gang is done with that life. He's tired of begging for chump change just to pay for his meds. Only by dancing on the edge of the abyss could he give his daughter a shred of hope. It was his only path to pull off the ultimate comeback. Zhao Gang gritted his teeth and gave a firm nod. "Boss Su, you can count on me. I might be down bad right now, but back at my old firm, I was out here managing hundreds of people. I've seen every type of fraud and clown in the book. Trust me, I know how to handle this." Once you agreed to lend him a hand, you calmly took back those 2 white items, though you made sure not to put them back in the inventory, because you can never be too careful with these NPCs. You handed over the altar shard, told him to reach out once the job was done, and dipped from the Zhao household. But the moment you stepped out of the residential complex, you got that weird spidey sense tingling. Someone was definitely stalking you, acting like a total creep in the shadows. Your body's been buffed by origin blood way too many times for your senses to be mid. They're top tier. Plus, with the Destiny Watch giving you meta-level awareness, you knew you weren't tripping. You hit up the supermarket, grabbed a few things, and purposely walked into a desolate area to bait arrow. Once you were in the middle of nowhere, you stopped and dropped a truth bomb. "You guys been following me this whole time? You ain't tired yet?" Suddenly, a dozen figures crept out from the darkness. A bunch of heavy-set goons with blades surrounded you. Typical. Then, the screech of tires absolutely shattered the silence of the night. A black car pulled up, looking like something straight out of a villain arc. A pair of red high heels stepped out first. It was Jia Weiwei. She had a face full of makeup on, but it couldn't hide the massive red slap mark still healing on her cheek. She really hadn't recovered from the absolute clapping you gave her yesterday. Jia Weiwei's voice dripped with pure salt. Didn't expect to see me so soon, did you? We're meeting again a lot faster than you thought, huh? You were acting real main character energy back at the walking street yesterday, weren't you? You looked at her with zero patience. You're basically over this. Then, our boy flicked on his eye of truth and literally scanned these NPCs' inventories like he was checking the clearance bin. Straight up trash. Not a single item had any aura worth mentioning. Absolute L inventory. Imagine having the audacity to pull up on me when you're rocking such mid-tier gear. The boss of this circus was some scar-faced clown wearing a basic blue-tier gauntlet. I guess even a scrap of meat is still food, but barely. Seeing the absolute disrespect in our boy's eyes, Scarface loses it and swings a glowing green knife like he's actually him. The guy sees our MC standing there, not even dodging, and gets super cocky. This idiot is really trying to tank my hit? Bet. Bro thought he was doing something, thinking his blade could cleave anything from a man to a literal ox in half. But then, that smug villain grin on his face just froze. Our boy didn't even blink. He just casually caught the blade between two fingers. Flex of the century. The whole scene went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Before Scarface could even process his L, our boy sent him flying like a basketball. Chest caved in, mission failed, bros officially logged off. That whole squad of tough guys who were acting all hard a second ago, all of them are suddenly very quiet. One punch, and their boy number 3 is headed to the afterlife. The blonde guy closest to the action was the first to realize they were cooked. Pure, unadulterated fear had him crawling away, trying to speedrun his exit. But then, a voice calm as a cucumber whispered right in his ear. Trying to dip, huh? A shadow flashed across his vision. The blonde guy froze, looked down, and his brain just glitched. Turns out, there was a massive hole in his chest that wasn't there a second ago. The soul pearl in our boy's hand pulsed with dark energy. Progress bar. 721. We're leveling up, baby. The rest of the goons finally realized they were in a horror movie and started booking it. Any hope they had of surviving just evaporated into thin air. This wasn't a fight anymore. It was a total slaughterhouse. Our MC was moving like the Grim Reaper in the moonlight, mowing these NPCs down like wheat. The last survivor hit the floor, literally wetting himself, begging for his life. Our boy gave him the cold interrogation treatment. Where's the HQ? Turns out, Jia Weiwei crawled her way up to some big shot backed by a lady named Yan. They used their intelligence network to track our boy down. Big mistake. The guy spilled every bit of tea he had. Our boy didn't hesitate. Finished him off with the soul pearl. Clean sweep, no loose ends. Only one person left breathing now. Jia Weiwei. She's been standing there the whole time, absolutely shook, brain completely offline. She's staring at her organization's elite members, but they're dropping like flies, getting mowed down like grass. Absolutely embarrassing. Her brain is straight up fried, lagging in real time because this is way beyond her comprehension. Like this is Tian Sheng? The same dude she literally kicked to the curb? The guy she thought was destined to be a bottom-tier L-taker forever? The broke NPC who was never supposed to have a glow-up? And now, he's walking toward her, step by agonizing step. Jia Weiwei finally snaps back to reality, letting out a shriek so desperate her voice actually cracks. She's panicking, clawing at the ground like a pathetic worm, trying to crawl away. Tian Sheng. Please. You've lost it. I messed up, okay? I was dead wrong. I shouldn't have pushed you like that. Just remember the old times and spare me, please. If you let me live, I'll do whatever you want. Anything. I can get you the bag, rare loot. I'll even let you treat me like trash every single day. I'll go back to being your girl. I'll be the perfect submissive trophy, I swear. He stops right in front of her, looking down with zero emotion, his face completely cold while she's out here begging like a clown. Jia Weiwei, remember how you treated me at the plaza yesterday? Her whole body starts trembling. Yeah, she remembers. He nudges his foot, signaling for her to get closer. She's shaking like a leaf. It's humiliating as hell, but hey, she'd rather be humiliated than dead. As she crawls closer, 2 crisp, sea-rack sounds echo through the night. He snapped both her arms, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "You really want me? Nah, you're too dirty for that." He lunges with the soul jade in his hand. But suddenly, he gets that gut feeling that something's gone wrong. A mist of blood explodes, and just like that, Jia Weiwei vanishes. Another weird-ass blood escape technique. That's the second time already. Right when he was about to secure the W and finish the job, she slips away right under his nose. His blood is boiling. He's genuinely tilted now. Then he remembers that last survivor he took out, the one who spilled some tea while begging for his life. Turns out, there's some big boss in the org who got wrecked a few days ago, and Miss Nyan is obsessed with keeping Jia Weiwei alive. Their blood art technique? Literally identical, bro. It's all clicking now. That tall queen from the other day? That's Miss Nenhan, and she's low-key a high-ranking executive in the Dark Shadow org. That shady, sus-tier survival cheat code she's using? Yeah, she definitely handed that to Havivi. The Dark Shadow faction is already reaching massive levels, just lurking in the shadows, waiting to move mad. So we gotta wipe them off the map before they get too powerful to handle. Time to burn through today's 3 sacrifice chances, then pull up to their base in person. After that, time to loot the spoils like it's Black Friday. But the second his finger grazed the loot, he got that main character intuition. Someone was dead-ass staring at him. This wasn't those amateur hour stalkers from before, fam. This person was cold, calculated, and hiding like a pro. Definitely a top-tier sweat. He cursed under his breath, and his aura went from 0 to 100 real quick. He stomped the ground, cracked the floor, and launched himself like a rocket, leaving after-images everywhere, moving like a blur toward where the eyes were watching from. In like 2 seconds, he hit the wall, but it was empty. Just some faint footprints left behind. Nah, they actually juked him. They retreated way too fast. This person is professional. That level of combat IQ? Zero chance they're with those Dark Shadow clowns. Havivi doesn't have the connects for a beast like this. This has to be one of the government's elite dogs. Only the feds have the budget and the training to spawn camp talent like this. Getting targeted by a goofy group like Dark Shadow? He couldn't care less. But getting the government's attention? That's a whole different vibe. Being on the radar of a state-sanctioned violence machine is a massive headache. Is he confident? Sure, but even he's not arrogant enough to think he can solo the entire government apparatus. Everything depends on how they categorize him now. Is he a murder hobo they need to delete? Or a gigachad civilian they can try to recruit? He just smirked, shook it off, and went back to collecting that loot. 2 kilometers away, the Black Leopard guard was pressed against a cold wall, sweating bullets. He wasn't panting from the run. He was straight up terrified. That demonic speed, the sheer power, and those cold, soulless eyes looking right through him. I've never been spotted by a target in my life. Inside the Management Bureau, Black Panther is the GOAT at tracking and anti-tracking. Yo, this is a L. I gotta report this. I'm Black Panther, requesting immediate extraction right now. The target caught me lacking. I almost got clapped by this guy. Wait, what? Xin Feng and the whole squad were just standing there, jaw-dropped at the report. The Bureau went dead silent. Black Panther is usually the calm, collected, cold-blooded king of stealth, but bro is literally spiraling because of one target. That's wild. I only managed to snap 1 pic before I dipped. Check it out. Xin Feng and the team glued their eyes to the massive screen. But this time, the angle was different. It wasn't a side profile anymore. Lin Wan stared at the screen. Dengzi's soul left his body. I remember now. That day at the market, the weird energy spike I felt? It was him. I really thought I was just tripping. Thought it was just residual energy from A Zheng. Xin Feng's face went from professional to, "We are so cooked in 2 seconds. You mean to tell me the hunter was being hunted the entire time?" Suddenly, a tiny, nervous voice broke the silence. Everyone whipped their heads around to see a rookie agent pointing at the screen, looking like she'd seen a ghost. Is this the guy who caused that golden and red light show? The entire command center turned into a giant air conditioner, with everyone gasping at once. The senior analysts were shaking their heads, looking like they just witnessed a glitch in the Matrix. This is absolute cap. There's no way. He looks way too young, and he's got zero background info. This doesn't add up. Xin Feng rubbed his temples. His headache was reaching final boss levels. Just as everyone was losing their minds, an investigator speed walked in with a serious look on his face. "Captain Xin, Professor Chu, we've got the full dossier on this guy's identity and history." Xin Feng took a deep breath, grabbed the file, and flipped to page 1. Right there at the top, the standard ID photo of Su Tiansheng. Bro in the photo has eyes as clear as day and is literally cheesing at the camera. His background is basic like NPC level boring. No criminal record, no violent history, nothing. But the moment Xin Feng flipped to the last page, the family relations section, the entire command center collectively lost their minds. Their pupils were dilated, dead-ass shocked. Father, Su Weiguo, status, deceased. Mother, Chen Jing, status, deceased. Date of death, June 7th. Cause, car accident. The investigator adjusted his glasses, his face looking grim as hell. "Captain Tan, I deep dived into that car crash file from back in the day, and man, the coincidences are screaming setup. It's like someone literally hit delete on all the actual evidence. Security cameras coincidentally broke a day before, and the driver's cause of death? Yeah, that math ain't mathin'. Turns out, there was one investigator who refused to drop it. Mormon was chasing the truth like his life depended on it. A month later, his whole family got gas leaked. Talk about a cold-blooded L." Tan Feng just took a long drag of his cigarette, looking stressed. Get this. Su Ming's dad was a total G, a veteran scout who took a massive hit during a classified overseas op just to save his squad and bring back the intel. Absolute Chad energy. The investigator kept going. And his mom? Chen Jing? Top-tier cardiac surgeon in the country. She was out there doing humanitarian work constantly. She even risked her life to save a high-profile foreign official, a hero of the military, and a literal saint in the medical field. You'd think a power couple like that would get some respect, right? Their death should have been a national headline. Tiansheng was basically orphaned, and he deserved the top-tier protection, FR. But nah, the higher-ups buried the whole thing. The kid didn't see a single cent of support. It's like the world just ghosted him on purpose. Lin Wan was listening, and you could see her shaking. Why didn't he report it? Why didn't he ask for help? The whole command center went dead silent. Only the sound of the AC humming. Tan Feng just sat there in a cloud of smoke, looking like he'd seen some dark stuff. Lin, listen, he said. Think about it. A 20-something-year-old college student. Parents suddenly gone in a crash. Every relative either dead or MIA. You think he's gonna start drama and paint a target on his back? The kid probably realized from day one, if he opened his mouth, he'd be the next victim in the obituary. He had to play the sad orphan role and keep his head down just to survive this long. Professor Chu adjusted his glasses and walked off, muttering about how this rabbit hole goes way deeper than they thought. Tan Feng stood up, eyes locked. Xiao Liang, you're on point. Investigate that old case on the low. As for Tian Sheng, put the surveillance on ice. Until we get the receipts, we aren't labeling him as anything. He's not the opposite. At least, not yet. Tan Feng grabbed the file and stood tall. Everything in this room stays in this room. Keep it 100% confidential. We ain't letting Tian Xin's parents bleed out just for their kid to end up sobbing. Nah, we don't do that here. On the flip side, our boy finished 2 sacrifices, but they were all just epic tier loot, only good enough to be fodder for the Deep Crimson Throne. So he kept grinding, eventually pulling up to this random building. It was abandoned and reeking like straight trash, with a crooked sign hanging off that said pet shop. He instinctively covered his nose, but his eye of truth picked up a faint energy pulse. Using his past L-taker experience, he kicked open that crusty, rusted door like a gigachad. The place smelled like pure rot, with a mountain of rusted cages stacked in the corner. Suddenly, he froze. Right in front of him was an altar that looked way too similar to the Deep Crimson Throne. This thing was over 2 meters wide, a massive flesh cocoon radiating some seriously cursed energy. Inside, a bunch of bugs were literally battle-royaling each other, eating their way to the top to see who the final boss is before hatching. Bro, is this a legit altar or a horror movie set? He didn't dare get close, just used his eye of truth from a safe distance. After a few seconds, the text finally popped up. Altar hash, 1748. Linking the shadow of the ages, heart and soul unified. How can a tangible contract bind a fleeting spirit? Seeking only a blank contract and an unchanging heart. Bro read that cryptic riddle and his brain basically short-circuited. Like, this is a legendary bug ritual, why are we playing word games? He read it 10 times over and still had zero clue what this thing wanted. He realized thinking was a waste of XP, so he stopped. He whipped out his phone and started searching. Once he saw the search results, it finally clicked. Shadow following the form means loyalty. Heart and soul unified means your vibe and your actions gotta match. Long story short, the main keyword here is just loyalty, fam. So the first key is loyalty. Then the second line. How can a tangible contract bind a fleeting spirit? It's asking how you lock down an invisible vibe with a physical contract. You can't touch it, right? It's basically just manifesting mental energy into reality. Anyone who's ever had a girlfriend knows how this works. You gotta buy the designer bag, or she's gonna say you don't love her same energy, bro. He let out a sarcastic laugh and kept scrolling to. So we're looking at a blank contract and a heart that just isn't vibing. This right here? This is the main plot point, the core of the whole L-take. Like, how you gonna get undying loyalty from a blank sheet of paper with zero binding energy? Make it make sense. Bro smirked. Like, seriously? Does someone actually grind so hard they evolve into a full-time professional slave? But even if he gets the literal meaning, he's still staring at the altar like, what am I actually supposed to sacrifice here? A soul bond contract? A basic employment agreement? Nah, that ain't it. None of that feels right, because at the end of the day, any contract is just paper. The second the bag gets big enough, people are gonna rip that fraud to shreds. And forced contracts are just pure oppression, not actual loyalty from the heart. FR. Plus, he can't afford to miss on this. If he messes up the sacrifice, the black light plague from all these insect swarms, just thinking about it has his brain absolutely fried. Bro is officially stuck in a dead-end lobby. He spent a whole hour big-braining it with zero results, so he finally snapped and punched the wall in pure rage. He hit that wall so hard his photo album fell right out of his backpack. And there it was. The very first page. A clear shot of his old man. He remembered how his dad used to pat his head with that main character energy. Listen up, kid. Us Sioux family members never bow our heads to anyone, no matter where we go. His whole body just hit a realization. He shook. Think about it. Thousands of years of our culture, all built on bloodlines and the clan grind. No matter how high you climb or where you go, you can never cut off your last name or the blood in your veins. That's your literal source code. And what are family records or ancestral tablets, really? Aren't those just blank contracts and mortal Q that fit the criteria? Deep down, a family record is just paper with ink, and a tablet is just a piece of carved wood. But it's the sense of belonging that's literally carved into our bones. The fog in his head just cleared. But then the harsh reality of his situation hit him like a truck. He's got no clan, no family records, his parents are gone, and his relatives are acting like he's a contagious NPC. He's literally a solo player with zero support. Down bad. This altar feels like a checkmate, a game he's programmed to lose. A second later, a soft chuckle echoed through the quiet room, and then he started full-on laughing. He looked up, and his eyes were glowing with absolute menace. If I don't have a clan, then from today, I, Su Ming, will build one from scratch. Ever since his parents dipped, he's been onto a massive, high-level conspiracy. He doesn't know who the ops are, and he's been drowning in the frustration of it all. But this altar? This is proof that the rules they built are finally starting to crumble. It's time to stop coping and start cooking. Time to go full-on savage mode. So our boy decided he's got to craft his own memorial tablet from scratch. No handouts here. He scopes out the room, and his eyes land on a pile of straight-up junk. He snaps off the thickest piece of pine board, bites his finger, and writes 2 characters in his own blood. Absolute Sigma move. Suddenly, the board starts vibrating like it's possessed. No warning, just straight chaos. With his blood upgraded by the origin essence, the energy is popping off. He can literally feel the connection humming between him and the tablet. He grabs the tablet and marches straight up to the flesh cocoon. He slams the tablet onto the cocoon. Everything goes dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. His heart is literally doing backflips in his chest. A split second later, drums start thumping from every single direction. He's sent straight into a vision, teleported back to some ancient primal jungle. Primal tribes everywhere, worshipping like their lives depend on it. You got gorgeous maidens offering sacrifices, surrounded by straight-up lethal, colorful, venomous snakes. Every cultist from every weird sect is out there trying to prove their devotion. Then, this booming voice echoes out of nowhere. Look, this is a true GU, the voice flexes. It's about rules, traditions, and voluntary sacrifice, kid. You're a random nobody with zero background, and you think you can just start your own sect? Keep dreaming, fraud. Immediately, a wave of pure, chaotic mental energy slams into his brain like a truck. The vision starts glitching out like a broken screen. He sees the GU bugs crawling out of the cocoon and onto his arms. He's paralyzed. He's trying to dip, but he's frozen solid. Suddenly, the soul wall in his bag leaks dark energy. His eyes go blood red, and his aura explodes. His life force is screaming. He screams back. Your legacy is just old era trash. I'm the new meta, the trendsetter of a new era. I am the rules now. CRACK. The illusion shatters. He's drenched in cold sweat, and those GU bugs trying to escape the cocoon? They're locked in place. Then they start a Hunger Games style battle, tearing each other apart, cannibalizing for the W. Silence hits again. All that's left is one massive, jet black beetle. Is this my GU king? His voice is shaking. He's absolutely buzzing with hype. This aura? It's gotta be at the legendary tier, right? But wait. His eye starts twitching. The thin membrane around the GU king suddenly tightens up. SPLAT. It literally crushed his only surviving GU king into minced meat. Our boy is absolutely folded. Wait, you've gotta be trolling me right now, right? Bro went all in, risked his entire mental stability, and walked away with absolutely nothing. Talk about an L. But hold up, the plot armor is kicking in! The meat cocoon suddenly shrivels up and explodes with a red aura that's literally touching the heavens. The energy surge is so cracked that our boy can't even keep his footing. Is there some hidden boss behind this beetle setup? Is someone else about to spawn in? The red light finally fades, and the altar is still standing tall, but the cocoon is empty, except for this weird, dark green meat core floating in the air. Bro immediately activates his Eye of Truth cheat code, and a bright green notification pops up. Item: Heart of the Insect Nest. Rank: Mythic. This thing literally farms natural energy from the atmosphere 24/7. Every 15 days, it spits out a brand new, random insect. That's an insane spawn rate. Function 2? It lets you store and fuse bugs together. Damn, another mythic tier item? This is basically an infinite glitch machine. Sure, the cooldown is a bit mid, but every bug it spits out is built different. Plus, the fusion mechanic? That's game-breaking. Imagine mixing an Ying-Ching bug with a 7-vein bug. That's an instant god-tier build right there. Suddenly, he spots something else floating next to the heart. 2 more bugs, just chilling there. One big, one small, both glowing blood red. The big one is thumbnail-sized. just vibing and hiding its aura. The smaller one looks like a ruby, circling the big one like a satellite. He hits it with the Eye of Truth again. Bloodline, heartlink bugs, rank, legendary. The host bug merges with your body. The parasite merges with the soul. Whoever gets the parasite is basically signed up for eternal loyalty to the host. If the parasite host even thinks about acting out or catching feelings of betrayal, the main bug can just delete them from existence with one thought. Bro literally had to catch his breath. This item is straight up toxic, man. Absolutely unhinged. Once you tag someone with this, they're basically your permanent NPC puppet. Their entire life and death are just a vibe check away from you. The first person that pops into his head? Zhao Gang. But hold up, this is legendary tier loot. Using it on some random NPC is a massive waste of resources. Save the goods. Packing up his gear, our boy gets ready to head back and cook up a flawless game plan for the next few days. Cut to the quiet room of another mansion, where the eldest Miss Yan is trying to heal up. That internal damage she took from boxing with our MC earlier is giving her absolute hell. Right at that moment, the front door gets completely smashed open. Xia Weiwei comes rolling and crawling in, covered in straight blood with a broken arm, looking like a drowned dog that just got dragged out of a mud pit. Yan Ruoxu's eyes are filled with pure disgust. You useless NPC, how did you get clapped this hard? Xia Weiwei immediately starts crying her eyes out. I got sneak attacked by that trash ex-boyfriend of mine. Bro somehow learned some illegal cheat code technique and wiped out my entire security detail. He completely disrespected our Black Shadow organization, and he even sniffed out the location of our other branch base. Hearing this, Yan Ruoxu is just completely lost for words. You let a trash ex-boyfriend solo your whole squad, and you actually have the nerve to sit here and cry about it? But honestly, she doesn't have the energy to care about minor L-takers right now. Since that ex-boyfriend already knows the base location, just to be safe, Yan Ruoxu immediately rings up her underling, Eagle. Put the base on maximum alert, double the manpower, and lock that place down like an absolute fortress. Remember, absolutely nothing can mess with my master plan. Hanging up the phone, she winces in pain, her mind flashing back to that insanely overpowered man. The clock strikes dawn, and right on time, gray rain starts falling as our boy stands under the eaves holding the cup of silence. This cup is a certified cheat code, no wonder everyone loves using it. Next time he runs into some mutant trying to transform, one tap with this cup will instantly confiscate their whole setup. Heading back to his room, he starts flexing and counting his current inventory. Mythic tier items: Abyss Demon Dragon Certificate, the Dagger, and the Ancient Stir-Fried Heart. Legendary tier: Storage of Wounds, the Pocket Watch of Destiny, and the Star of Hope, plus that concentric GU he just secured. The sheer flex of this loadout would literally cause top-tier clans to fight to the death just to get a taste. On top of all that, he's got a few bottles of primordial blood in his bag, perfect for clutch heals or hitting a massive level up. This is the ultimate stack that keeps him alive and thriving in this chaotic era. After all, the government feds are probably already watching him, not to mention that toxic, rent-free living Black Shadow organization. Big war is coming, gotta stay strapped and ready. Suddenly, the phone starts vibrating like crazy. It's Zhao Gang, and he's sounding way too hyped. Xiao, that altar shard you gave me? Sold for 26K. That's 30% more than what the feds were offering. And get this, the buyer ain't just some random NPC. They're claiming to be from the Shadow Org. They even sent over an invite, he says. Wants me to join their squad, claiming they got exclusive benefits and protection. Sounds sus, right? As soon as he mentions Shadow, our boy stops typing mid-sentence. Talk about running into your ops in the front yard. I was literally stressing about how to wipe these clowns off the map, and now they're handing me an invite on a silver platter? A cold smirk forms on my face. Uncle Zhao, accept the invite. Join the Shadow Org? Zhao Gang is shook on the other end. He thought he misheard, but my tone goes ice cold. Listen, me and the Shadow Org are blood enemies. No cap. You're going in as a double agent. This is a literal death sentence for him. Bro is basically being told to speedrun his own funeral. Zhao Gang goes dead silent, but he's a smart guy and a desperate father at his wit's end. To save his daughter, he'd jump into a volcano, let alone join some shady group. He grits his teeth. If you can save my daughter, my life is yours. I laugh. I'm not going to sell him some fake hope, so I just ask straight up about her condition. Turns out it's leukemia. I look at the dark red primordial blood in my hand, and a cracked idea pops into my head. This stuff cleanses your marrow and rebuilds your entire body. Could it cure leukemia? If I'm going to secure his loyalty, I gotta pull off some god-tier, heaven-defying moves. I start planning. Uncle Zhao, I'll swing by tomorrow afternoon to grab the first batch of loot. I'll hand you another altar shard then. Use it to trade with the Shadow Org and accept that invite. Also, before I hit your place, I'm stopping by the hospital to check on your daughter. Phone cuts. I hit the bed, but then I have the most cursed dream ever. In the dream, I'm getting chased by a vampire in a tuxedo. This vamp looks elegant and posh as hell, and he corners me real quick. I'm about to go full suicide mode to take him down, but he leans into my ear and says, "Yo bro, what kind of vampire eats matches for breakfast?" Bro wakes up, absolutely triggered because the Heart Crimson Throne literally hit his DMs in a dream, roasting him for feeding it bottom tier matches. Trash loot. FR. Our boy's fuming, stomps down to the basement, and starts unloading on that pulsing heart thing. Like bro, a child doesn't call their mom ugly? A dog doesn't hate a poor home? Be grateful for the snacks. Stop being a picky eater. But as much as he's flaming it, he realizes the thing actually has a consciousness now, probably evolved from eating those props. To appease this bougie ancestor, he bites the bullet and tosses it a few more matches. It's gobbling them down twice as fast now, and bro is hyped. Looks like he's gotta go grind for better loot to keep this thing fed. With the throne sorted, he checks on his dragon egg, which has been stuck at 85% progress for a hot minute. It's literally soft-locked. He pulls out a bottle of essence blood, trying to feed it, but this egg has some serious main character energy. It just flicks its tail, hard refusing the meal, not even giving him the time of day. Bro is standing there dead-faced. "Hey, guess you're a picky eater too. Fine. Looks like the only way to hatch this thing is the old-school way. Bodying mobs. But if he keeps killing chickens, the soul dagger is gonna start haunting his dreams too. Time to switch up the menu." He calls up Boss Wang and hits him with the "Yo, let me get 100 pigs." He's bored of chickens. It's time to level up his grind on something new. But as soon as Boss Wang hears the word pigs, his voice starts trembling. "Bro, you can't touch the pigs right now. All the big farms nearby? Yeah, they're having some straight up horror movie energy." Our boy frowns, telling him to spill the tea. Boss Wang, shaking, tells him the horror story. "Last night, I was on a video call with Old Lai, and I saw it with my own eyes. The pigs went absolutely feral, eyes glowing red, biting everyone in sight. They straight up ate Old Lai on camera. The feed was just black blood and pure nightmare fuel. I was terrified, man. Called him back, but no one's picking up, and the place is called Lee's Hog Farm. It's basically a literal hellhole now." Bro hears this and starts grinning. Is this not an absolute W? He was literally looking for an XP farm anyway, and these mutated pigs are just serving themselves up on a silver platter. He immediately asks for the Old Man Wang saw our boy was locked in, so he cooped the address, and even tried to hand over his green tier axe like, "Take this for your safety, king." Our guy felt the love, honestly. I mean, the axe is straight up trash to him, but the sentiment? W. Absolute W. So he hit him with the "Nah, keep the heater at home, UNC. Just wait for me to get back so we can grab drinks with your wife." Snap cut. Bro hits the GPS and arrives at the Lin family mansion. Place is straight up middle of nowhere vibes. It smells like total decay. Even the birds in the sky are gagging from the stench. Right in the middle of the road, there's this rusted out, crusty mailbox. Bro stops dead in his tracks like, "Hold up, why is there a mailbox in a place where birds don't even fly? This is sus." Suddenly, his eye of truth goes full brightness. Alters code number 28,818 connection established. I'm the gossip of the multiverse. I crave the tea. I love leaking everyone's private business. Bro sees the code and literally can't help himself. 52,818? Yeah, I'm listening to this drama. This altar has zero manners, for real. No filters, no chill. But if you know how to play the game, you could dig up some world-shattering secrets. He hesitated for a sec, but prioritized the mission. Grind set only. He stalks over to the ancient locust tree. The pigpen walls are already half collapsed. As soon as he gets close, he hears this nasty-ass chomping sound coming from inside. Inside the pen, this absolute unit of a monster, way bigger than your average hog, is facing away from him, going feral on something. Eye of truth scan. Plague-crazed boar. Threat level. Common disaster. A livestock critter totally corrupted. 0 brain cells left. Just a killing machine that lives to chew. Our boy is chewing on that keyword corruption, wondering where the hell this infection even started. But he ain't here to talk. He sneaks up behind that beast, swings his blade, and bonk, the hog's massive head hits the floor. Easy dubs. His Soul Blade's XP bar just jumped by a dozen points. Way faster than grinding chickens, FR. But out of nowhere? The headless hog corpse literally explodes. 0 warning. 0 chill. The blast shakes the entire pigpen. Dozens of plague-crazed boars burst through the fence, eyes glowing red, staring him down like they want all the smoke. Most people would have peed their pants and rage quit, but our boy? He's literally trembling with excitement. These aren't monsters, fam. These are just walking bags of free XP, waiting to be cashed out. Looks like his Soul Blade and Dragon Girl are about to feast like kings tonight. Suddenly, the ground shakes. A literal stampede of hogs is charging at him like a flash flood. Bro doesn't even dodge. He just locks in and charges straight into the chaos, blade gleaming. Pig heads are flying everywhere. Every single swing is just pumping up that Soul Blade's stats. Explosions are going off back to back. It's pure carnage. Our boy is moving like a mindless farming bot, absolutely sweating these mobs for XP. Just as the blade's meter hits max, a sudden sense of dread hits him out of nowhere. His danger sense is screaming at him, so he bails backwards immediately. He notices something wild. The pools of black blood aren't fading. They're being sucked toward the roots of a tree. Everything is converging on that one spot. Bro's gut feeling, yeah, this is not a vibe. Turns out, the real boss was hiding in plain sight. The tree is the main opposite. After chugging all that blood, the tree literally goes, "I'm back," and starts popping off. Those dead, dry branches? Yeah, they're undergoing a massive growth spurt. Blood-colored branches are exploding out, creating a terrifying canopy that blocks out the entire sky. Our boy can't even help but laugh. Is this guy doing a Hashirama Wood-style cosplay right now? Suddenly, a giant eye sprouts directly out of the rotting flesh on the trunk. Yeah, it's alive, and it's staring directly into his soul. He activates his Eye of Truth, and red, burning text starts glitching across his vision. Targeting. Alter W-177 identified. Cultivating a child of rot in this death zone, fueled by the blood and meat of 10,000 souls. The nightmare is gestating. Wait, this code has a W in it? He doesn't even have time to process what that means. But the pressure this tree is giving off? Way crazier than that epic tier wraith from earlier. Whatever this child of rot is, it's gotta go before it fully forms. He grips his maxed out blade, aura peaking. But before he can rush in, a massive explosion rocks the field. The ground under his feet shatters, launching him backward like a cannonball. The spot where he was standing just got shredded by crimson vines. That was way too close. Above him, that blood canopy is going berserk, turning thousands of leaves into a literal rain of knives. This whole map has officially turned into the boss's domain expansion. He recalibrates his Eye of Truth for one final look. Finally, the name of the one-eyed tree monster reveals itself. Meet the four-armed locust demon, an epic tier calamity. This beast spawned from a mutated altar, and its only job is to protect the arrival of the Son of Corruption. So that's what the W code on the altar meant. Bro didn't even have time to process that intel. The Clockwork Destiny ability instantly went live, and a rain of razor-sharp leaves started shredding everything above his head. He's moving mad, dodging through a bullet hell of vines and flying blades like he's playing 2-how on extreme mode. But this monster's DPS is just too cracked. One leaf glowing with a cursed red aura clips his arm. Instantly, his flesh starts blackening and rotting. Straight up toxicity. His face goes pale, and he starts dumping his internal life force like crazy, trying to force suppress the rot spreading through his veins. But that split-second lag cost him. A massive vine smashes into his back. Bro almost got folded, spitting out a mouthful of blood like it's a bad habit. That hit reminded him real quick. Mess up, and you're speedrunning your funeral. Epic tier mobs are just built different. Another giant vine is coming for the kill, and he's got nowhere to dodge. Suddenly, he remembers that cup of ash rain. He decides to send it, splashing the liquid right at the incoming vine. Miracle incoming. The vine, which could crush a tank, hits the ash rain and turns into literal wood rot and dust. Even the locust demon's giant eye is shook. The monster is genuinely confused. While it's having a midlife crisis, our boy puts everything into his legs and charges. The demon is fully triggered now, launching an absolute swarm of blood-red vines from the ground. This is its final form. But for our MC, there's no turning back now. He's clearing a path with the ash rain while tanking the leaf storm, charging straight for the main body. Obviously, he's paying the price for this reckless play. He's got fresh wounds everywhere. His vision is blurring out, but he's closing the gap 30 meters away from that eye. 20 meters. 10 meters. Suddenly, the cup runs dry. His heart just stopped for a second. No more cheat codes left. He's out of lives. The demon senses the opening. Its trunk cracks open, and it fires a game-over black vine right at his chest. The speed is so insane it's hopeless. Even his Clockwork Destiny vision is just flashing pure red warning signs. In the final microsecond, he pulls out that match of hope from the deepest darkness. The flame hits the vines and boom! Massive explosion. Our boy straight up tanks the hit like it's nothing. Fire beats wood, baby. That's the strat, that's the play. He sees the opening, turns into a literal black blur, and goes for the throat. Straight into that cursed giant eye. Eat this, fraud. Crack! The eye shatters. The massive tree collapses, and a pillar of black light hits the sky like a server-wide glitch. The whole Jiangsu region is watching this crazy light show right now. Bro gets sent flying 50 meters, he's leaking health everywhere, looking absolutely cooked. But he's laughing like a maniac because he actually won. Man really just speed ran a boss fight and lived to tell the tale. He drags his broken body to the center of the black pillar and finds 2 items just glowing there, looking absolutely cracked. First up is this black orb the size of a fist. Activate Eye of Truth, and let's see the stats. Epic Mini Altar Core. Rare tier. It can fuse permanently with any altar. It's the literal heart of the monstrosity, formed after the boss got deleted. A mix of death's shadow and a new life's beginning. Some deep, poetic loot right there. One-time use only. Don't waste it. Careful though. Once you pick an altar, you can't rip it out without bricking the core. Sheesh. This is high-tier loot. Perfect for upgrading the Crimson Throne later. Now, moving on to the second drop. Mark of Corruption. Legendary tier. Your soul is literally branded with the aura of decay. Basically, you get insane resistance and compatibility with all things evil and rotting. Sounds a bit mid at first, right? Like, who wants to be a walking trash pile? But just as he's about to stash it away, red text pops up on his screen, and Bro's skin starts crawling. The Son of Corruption is awake, and you've officially piqued its interest. It's low-key obsessed with meeting him now. Bro's hair is literally standing on end. Turns out, killing the minion just alerted the final boss. He's basically a bug being watched by a titan, and he hates it. He curses out loud and immediately dips. Time to ghost this place! That black pillar is way too loud, he's gonna get caught. But just as he takes 2 steps, the mark in his inventory starts acting up. An otherworldly presence just dropped into the chat. A permanent tag just got slapped on him. No deleting this one. Through the black storm, he catches a glimpse of a silhouette. The Son of Corruption itself. He grits his teeth. Force activates the Eye of Truth, and GAH. The pain is unreal. His eyes are literally bleeding tears of fire. 8. Let's see what this is actually about. Show me the goods. The name? Unknown. The rarity? Unknown. The description? Absolutely nothing. Pure mystery box. Bro tries to peep the stats and immediately starts coughing up black blood. His internal vibe check just failed hard. Looks like this thing is way above his pay grade. His Eye of Truth is literally lagging because the data is too high level. Not gonna lie, our boy has a massive arsenal of cheat codes, and he's definitely a top-tier gigachad in this world. But compared to whatever that thing is, he's still just an ant. A literal NPC. He looks back up at the sky, but the shadow is already gone. Ghosted. Meanwhile, Jiang City is in absolute shambles. Total chaos. The Bureau of Abnormal Affairs just hit the panic button. Level 1 emergency, boys! This giant black pillar of light? They're calling it the Great Dark Heaven. Sounds like an edgy anime title. Fr. Yan Ruoxu sees the carnage and immediately sends the elite squad to the scene. Every single demon, freak, and wannabe villain lurking in the shadows is rushing to Lai Family Pond. Everyone who thinks they're built different is trying to get a slice of the pie, but our boy? He's the only one walking the other way. Absolute Sigma energy. He's heading back to that Bagua altar he found earlier. Time to check the stats on his upgraded soul dagger. Let's see what that mythic grade drip can do. Passive 1. All method immunity. Passive 2. Soul absorption. Basically, he kills the target and steals their HP to heal himself. Infinite sustain, baby. And the new skill, Godslayer Pressure, deals 1000% damage to mythic units. Bro is looking at these stats like, I need to bow down to this weapon right now. These upgrades are straight up toxic levels of broken. All method immunity means he's basically untouchable. No more debuffs, no more funny business. Whether it's hacks, rules, or giant monsters, he's cutting everything in half with one swing. Soul absorption covers his biggest weakness, running out of gas. As long as he keeps stacking bodies, he's basically an infinite energy glitch. And that Godslayer Pressure? It's built different. Give him a minute and he'll be hunting actual gods for sport. He returns to the oil barrel altar, dips his finger in his own blood, and writes 8 words on a piece of paper. I have seen a god, and I want to kill it. Done. He stuffs the note into the barrel. The barrel starts screaming immediately. Golden light is hitting the ceiling. This message is going viral, literally. The barrel spits out an ancient-looking black envelope. That's the loot. He grabs it and dips. That move was way too loud. The ops are definitely coming. He gets back to the slaughterhouse, chugs 2 vials of primal blood to patch himself up, and finally cracks open the mysterious black envelope. At first, it's just a blank sheet of paper, but then glowing gold text starts manifesting. It's game time. Yo, I'm actually vibing with the rumors about you, FRFR. In exchange for the info, I'll drop 2 absolute banger secrets on you. That gray rain? It ain't from the sky. It's actually the tears of a hero. Our boy literally inhaled the coldest air, shook to his core. Like, imagine a whole rainstorm that flips the world upside down, being just one person's crying session? What kind of overpowered entity are we even dealing with here? Then, the second secret hit the chat. The artists couldn't wait any longer. They're already starting the final dress rehearsal, and that one person specifically wants to see him. Bro's eyebrows are doing some serious heavy lifting now. Who are these artists, man? Why they gotta talk in riddles? And who is this mysterious weirdo trying to slide into his DMs? He whipped out the Eye of Truth to hack the system and see the real lore, but nah, it was all just static. Absolutely nothing. The next second, the black envelope and the letter just turned into golden dust and dipped. Literally vanished. The lead went cold, and bro was heated, punching the table like it owed him rent. This Alpatar is actually unhinged, acting like an NPC with zero chill, just obsessed with being mysterious for no reason. Whatever, if the brain can't solve it, forget it. Grinding for that power-up is the only main character move that matters. He hits up old Wang, telling him to ship another 1,000 chickens. The grind never stops. While he's at it, he puts on an Oscar-worthy performance, pretending he was totally shook by that massive black pillar earlier. Old Wang fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker, just spamming. Glad you're alive, glad we didn't go, glad we stayed. After hanging up, he heads to the basement and pulls out the altar heart of the Huai demon. This is a high-stakes gamble. If he wins, that Crimson Throne is getting a massive glow-up. If he loses, he just wasted an epic tier item. Big L energy. He's shaking the heart in front of the throne like a treat, warning it not to just gobble it down like a snack before finally placing it on top. Sizzle! A massive cloud of green smoke starts blowing up. The altar heart suddenly opens its eyes and tries to force a parasite link with black vines. That move? It just woke up the king, and the king is not in the mood. The Crimson Throne started vibing violently as blood-red tentacles erupted, straight up deleting those invading vines. Barely a minute later, the fight's over, and the black roots got absolutely clapped. Everything goes back to dead silence. He was about to complain that the whole thing might be bugged, but then, a vibrant green sprout, and at the top of the tree, a crystal clear green fruit, straight up glowing. Our boy fires up the eyes of truth, merging the Crimson Throne with the ghost heart. Bro just gave it a legendary stat buff. The spirit heart tree sucks up raw essence, pumping it into that fruit like it's a fermentation chamber. MC's heart is racing, but his inventory is looking a little dry. Not enough items to test his theory. Suddenly, a light bulb goes off. He pulls a bottle of basic essence out of his stash. Like, who said you can't sacrifice essence to upgrade essence? Logic check. Fail. We call that a bug, boys. That's a straight up hack. The Crimson Throne ain't saying a word, but it's obediently slurping that stuff down. A second later, the fruit starts popping off with a blinding light. Boom. A brand new bottle of essence drops down. The liquid inside is now this vibrant neon green, literally vibrating with life. Eyes of Truth scans it. Heart-refined essence. Sheesh. It's not just a stat boost. The medicinal properties are smooth like butter. It heals the body, purifies the bloodline, and wipes out all the toxic residue. Massive W. MC is staring at this Pro-Max version of the potion, breathing heavy. Okay. We are cooking. The upgrade is cracked. He's locked in on those words. Bloodline purification. Suddenly, he's thinking about Zhao Gang's daughter and her struggle with leukemia. Before, he had less than a 1% chance. He was terrified the raw energy would just delete the poor girl. But now, with this smooth, refined juice, we're looking at a 90% survival rate, baby. This is literally a god-tier item tailored just for her. He knows this isn't just saving a life. This is a high IQ business move. You save his kid, and you've got him for life. Zhao Gang is a financial genius with a brain that prints money. He's about to become the MC's most loyal ride or die. The play is set, the W is secured, and our boy is feeling like a champion. He pulls out his phone to scroll the forums and check the clout. But the second he checks the feed, his face drops. Yo, what the actual hell happened? He thought taking down the ghost demon would have him trending #1 worldwide, but the forum is buried in pure chaos. The news about the black light in Jiang City is getting drowned out by something way more cursed. The front page is flooded with bold, blood-red headlines. The paper dolls in Fengdu town have come to life, and they're out in the streets banging drums and throwing a chaotic funeral wedding mashup. Bro, the vibes are absolutely rancid. If you're faint of heart, log off now. This place is straight up cursed. Midnight mahjong games echoing through the halls, literal brain rot behavior that's driving everyone insane. Word on the street is the East Sea just spawned some massive, mutated sea monster. And over in West River, corpses are pulling a Walking Dead Season 1, forming an undead army heading straight for the city. Add in volcanic eruptions and some global plague, yeah, we're cooked. Turns out, all this chaos is coming from these weird-ass mutation altars our boy hasn't even seen before. Looks like Huai Ma wasn't just a one-off glitch in the system. My guy realized that ever since the Blood Moon event, the world is officially off its rocker. The old rules? Yeah, they're dead and buried. These mutation altars are multiplying like crazy, spawning absolute nightmares we didn't even know existed. It's a major L, and our MC knows he needs to start speedrunning his leveling up if he wants to survive. 4 p.m. The 1,000 chickens arrived, and they've already been processed. Efficiency King, FR. Too bad the 10,000 evolution points from the soul water are basically a drop in the ocean. Not even a dent. The baby dragon girl's incubation progress is sitting at 88.5%. Almost ready to pop out. Since his HP bar is basically back to full, he decides it's time to link up with Zhao Gang. This guy is the ultimate side quest MVP, the most crucial link in his whole plan. He rings him up, but Zhao Gang sounds like he's been through the shredder. Man just mumbles a hospital address and hangs up. Absolute depressor. 40 minutes later, our boy finds Zhao Gang looking like a total wreck in the hospital hallway. Man is out here on his knees, begging the doctor to save his daughter, ready to go broke and sell everything just to cop those imported meds. Doc hits him with the, "I'm sorry bro," saying the white cell spread is too fast. Even the gods couldn't patch this one. Hearing that, Zhao Gang and his wife just completely folded. The heartbreak is real. Our MC steps in, gives him a shoulder tap, and follows them into the room. On the bed, little Zhao Xinhe is looking straight up malnourished. It's actually painful to look at. Even seeing her parents, she tries to drop a smile like a little champ, even having the energy to call our guy uncle. That uncle hit different. My man's heart is actually breaking. Zhao Gang is kneeling there, clutching her bony little hand like a helpless kid, crying like his world just ended. The little girl's eyes are getting misty too. She's got nothing left but skin and bone, but she's still reaching out to comfort her dad. Man's face is a total disaster of tears. "Daddy, am I gonna have to go somewhere really far away?" "It's okay, don't be sad. I read in a book that good kids turn into stars when they leave. I'll be the brightest star in the sky, watching over you and mom forever. So whenever you miss me, just look up at the night sky, okay?" Bruh. Even the doctor had to look away. We're all crying in the club now. Our MC drags Zhao Gang out to the hall, low-key asking, "Alright, real talk. What's the situation?" Zhao Gang leans against the cold-ass wall, his voice sounding like he's been gargling gravel. The doctors basically gave him the "it's over" talk. Maybe 2 weeks left on the clock. Watching this dude hit rock bottom, our boy just looks at him and drops a casual, "I got a cheat code for that," and bet. Those 4 words had Zhao Gang's dead eyes sparkling like he just found the main quest. Bro didn't even hesitate, he went straight to his knees. Our boy leans in, his black hood casting a shadow over this man's absolute mental collapse, his lips moving just enough to spill the tea on the plan. His voice was low, but it had Zhao Gang's pupils dilated like he'd seen a ghost. At first, Zhao Gang was shaking his head like a madman. It sounded too unhinged, too dangerous, way too risky. But then he stopped. That desperate, pure hopium energy took the wheel and crushed all his doubts. Like, why not gamble? Bro's already cooked, might as well roll the dice. Back in the ward, Zhao Gang whispers the plan to his wife. Mrs. Zhao looks like she's seen a demon, staring at her husband like he's lost his mind. But thinking about their daughter nearing the end, she catches that unhinged look in her husband's eyes and decides to ride or die with him. She turns to face their girl on the bed, her voice shaking. "Manhwa, this guy has a special kind of potion, but fair warning, it's gonna hurt like hell, maybe even leave a mark. You scared?" Zhao Manhwa is fading fast, but she doesn't even blink. Just gives a tiny shake of her head. "I'm not scared of the pain, Mom. I just want to stay with you guys forever. If this doesn't work, please don't blame the mister." Zhao Gang can't take it, he turns away so she doesn't see him losing his composure. Our boy doesn't say a word, just reaches into his inventory and whips out a vial of glowing green essence. Straight up top-tier loot. Mrs. Zhao's hands are vibrating as she takes it. The second that cap pops off, the room is flooded with enough life force to bring a skeleton back to life. Even the tired, sunken look on the parents' faces starts to fade. This isn't just medicine. This is 100% pure god-tier steroid. Mrs. Zhao is hype now, carefully tilting the bottle to her daughter's lips, making sure every single drop goes down. At first, nothing happens. But then, beep, beep, beep. The heart monitor starts screaming like it's having a seizure. The doctors hear the noise and try to rush in, but the door is locked from the inside. They're stuck outside. A few seconds later, absolute miracle. The vitals are back in the green, looking steady as a rock. On the bed, Manhwa's deathly pale face is actually gaining some color. She's looking healthy again. Zhao Gang's voice is shaking, his entire tone shifting. "Manhwa, you good, fam? How you feeling?" The little girl finally opens her eyes. "I'm feeling pretty comfy, just a little." Bro, Zhao Gang and his wife were literally having a heart attack right there. Manhwa cracks a smile and adds, "I'm just a little hungry." As soon as she said that, the massive weight on the parents' shoulders vanished. They straight up started sobbing, full-on emotional damage. We got hope, boys. Their daughter really just pulled a main character move and escaped the Grim Reaper. One drop of divine blood, and the King of Hell has to hit the road. No diff. Just then, Dr. Zhang uses the backup key to bust into the room. He was ready to go full Karen mode, but he froze the second he stepped inside. Bro sees the girl looking all glowed up with a healthy complexion, and the heart monitor was actually reading normal numbers. The doctor's jaw hit the floor. Bro was genuinely shook. Our boy just looks back, calm as ever. "Doc, don't trip." I used a high-tier altar relic to patch her up. And keep this on the low. I don't need random NPCs coming to bother me. The doctor snapped out of his shock real quick. He clocked the threat in the MC's voice immediately. He knew exactly what that meant. He was mind blown. In this era, using a priceless altar artifact just to save one kid? That's wild. If this guy can just pull out relics like it's pocket change. Just how cracked is the background he's hiding? Killing him would probably be easier than stepping on an ant. Dr. Zhang got the message loud and clear. I'll prep the next checkup. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. I ain't saying a word. He didn't even hesitate, just dipped immediately. As soon as the doc left, Zhao Gang and his wife tried to drop to their knees to thank him. The MC held them back, telling them to focus on their kid instead. Uncle Zhao, I'm gonna head downstairs. Meet me there. As he hits the door, he turns back to the girl. Oh, and Manhwa? Next time we link up, don't call me uncle, that makes me feel like an absolute UNC. He chuckles and dips. Even if he was using Zhao Gang for his own agenda, he definitely saved his daughter for real. Once he's out of the hospital, his smile vanishes. He stares at that black pillar of light still looming on the horizon. Logically, since Huaima is cooked, the weird vibe should have vanished by now. Why is it still there? Is the plot not over yet? He checks the forums, his heart skipping a beat. He smashes blacklight into the search bar. A flood of info hits his screen, and he's ready to lock in. Most of these were just absolute else-failed rituals everywhere. But our boy kept scrolling, eyes locked on the few posts that were actually built different. Deep in the mountains of Purian Town, that black pillar of light is still vibing in the sky. It's giving end-of-the-world energy. The sky literally looks like it's got a glitched hole in it. The government went full lockdown mode, but honestly, they're basically the main ops behind this whole mess. You know what that black pillar actually means, right? You might be the first to clear a mini-abnormal altar, but you're definitely not the only one out here grinding. Low-key, there's way more people capable of handling epic-level anomalies than you'd think. Just then, Zhao Gang steps out of the hospital, weaving through the crowd. He's not rushing, but his walk is different. His back isn't slouched anymore. Bro is standing tall like a main character. His face is still tear-stained, and his eyes are puffy. But the gloom? That's all gone. He's looking brand new. You clock it immediately, watching him step out of his past trauma, literally walking into a new life you handed him on a silver platter. Zhao Gang stops right in front of you. The whole city just goes silent. He reaches out, and you hit him with that grin and a handshake. No words needed. We just vibe. 10 minutes later, you're chilling on a beat-up sofa in Zhao Gang's place, checking out the 17 white-tier loot drops he managed to snag. Your eye of truth scans Yep, all legit. No cap. Nice work, you say. You do a quick flick of the wrist, and that mountain of loot vanishes into your inventory. Smooth. Zhao Gang's eyes widen. He's low-key shook. Bro is mind-blown. You catch his reaction. You see everything. He's loyal now, we love to see it. But besides the gratitude, you gotta keep him guessing. He shouldn't ever be able to figure out your true power level. You want him to know that sticking with you is the biggest W of his life. Plus, since he's the manager of the recovery station, there's no point in hiding your flex anyway. You toss him a fragment of the altar. Follow the plan, get in with the shadow group, infiltrate the ops, and play it cool. Don't die. Don't worry, sir. In financial terms, consider this a high-risk venture. You invested in me, and I'm not going to let you take the L. You give a satisfied nod. Say less. This is exactly the energy you were looking for. If a blade is going to be sharp, it needs that killer aura. And your crew? They're built different. Just like that. Finished handling the business? And bro, it's already late. He ghosted Zhao Gang's dinner invite and dipped from that crusty apartment complex solo. Passing a street corner, the smell of fresh baked goods had him hitting the brakes. Fresh mooncakes. Straight out the oven. He looks up at the big round moon and realized, wait, is it Mid-Autumn Festival tomorrow? Yo, boss, give me a few boxes of these. Keep the mixed nut ones, I don't want that trash. Give me everything else. He walks into the night, tears into a lotus paste egg yolk mooncake, and takes a massive bite. The taste hit different, brought back memories, and now his eyes are low-key watering. But a second later, his smile just froze. Mid-Autumn Festival, the Mid-Autumn Gala, the 2018 rehearsal. The info from that altar note went off like a bomb in his brain. Those performers couldn't wait any longer. They're running the final rehearsal? Is it happening in these next few days? A realization hit him, and his eyes started glowing with that, I see what's going on energy. Right on cue, a singing voice floated in on the night wind. Now you hear it, now you don't. It sounded absolutely tragic and cursed. The melody was straight up eerie, pure, demonic vibes. Who's there? He flicked his wrist, and his dagger was already in his grip, locking down the area with pure killing intent. But nah, there was nothing there. Suddenly, a fire started burning in his gut. The deep, soul-crushing loneliness in that voice. It was vibing way too hard with his own sadness about missing his parents. Like, seriously? He low-profiled it into the shadows. And a few minutes later, he pushed past some tall weeds. His pupils shrunk, An abandoned outdoor theater was sitting right there. The seats were empty, but the whole vibe was suffocating, like a bunch of invisible ghosts were watching the show. On stage, 3 distinct voices were blending together. On the left, a heroic warrior. In the middle, a mourning maiden. On the right, the shrieking scream of a clown. It was the whole squad. The warrior, the maiden, and the clown. He activated his eye of truth. The stage illusions peeled back, and the 3 altars showed their true colors. Instantly, his eye of truth scanned them. The one on the left was stacked with broken swords, rusted armor, and nothing but pure decay. Altar No 1001, linked to the Heavens Theater, White Tiger Hall. Why did I risk my life fighting the invaders? Oh, why is it that the absolute chads, the ones actually doing the work, always end up getting cooked? The central altar is literally built out of phoenix crowns and hairpin accessories. Altar 1003 is linked to the Heavens Drama House. Talk about a major lore drop. She's out here crying, big sad energy. Why did I give him my heart, my loyalty, and even helped him secure the entire world? And in the end, left totally lonely, our father. It's actually tragic. The altar on the right is just a massive pile of thousands of masks, all with different cursed expressions. Altar 104 is connected to the Heavens Theater stage. All these masks are out here grinning at the world, laughing at everyone. They think the whole world is just a bunch of NPCs who can't see the truth. 3 altars, 3 top-tier numbers. We got one who's salty, one who's down bad in misery, and one who's just nihilistic. The plot is definitely giving. The loyal general is the lead, the lovesick noble is the drama queen, the snake is the clown. We got the whole squad casted. But if this play is gonna be a banger, something is still missing. We need the Jing role, the hot-headed gigachad who's gonna flip the table and set the rules. Ah, I see now. This whole thing is just a mid-tier play that never got its finale. They're straight up soft-locked in a tragedy, no exit button. The way to beat this isn't through applause or some weird ritual. It's by adding a judge to wrap this trash show up. Since nobody else is gonna flip the table, guess I'll have to do it myself. His thoughts start drifting back to the play his old man used to bump when he was still around. The Jing role walks onto the stage and represents the law, the literal rules of the universe. No gray areas, just facts, honor, and being a straight-up legend. That's how you gotta move. Like the Jing. Black is black, white is white. No cap. You need a moral compass and a spine of steel. He laughs to himself under the moonlight. His dad had the right idea, but the man pulled off heroic feats and still got absolutely wrecked in the end. His loyalty didn't bring him any plot armor or kindness. It just got his white robes soaked in blood. The rage and madness, built up for eons, suddenly exploded from the depths of his soul like a volcano. For a mid-play, a trash ending, and an unwavering death, he steps onto the ragged stage. The war drums are hitting different, like they're playing just for him. If we're gonna do this show, let's go all out and make it a masterpiece. He walks to the edge of the stage, fixing his fit, keeping it clean. The outfit is about respect, not for this stage or the creepy altars, but for the role he's about to kill. Bro channeled his inner Tin, letting out a roar that shook the entire stage. General, what did you even do wrong, man? The real L here is that king who listened to some clown's cap instead of you. Your whole squad? They're all ghosts now, bro. And you're just sitting here self-loathing instead of getting back at the ops? Is this really the move? Does this even look like general behavior? The singing vibe is officially gone. Now it's just pure, unfiltered rage and facts. He drops to one knee and punches the stage like he's trying to break the floorboards. That hit wasn't just a punch. It was a straight-up declaration of war against the misery. The stage collapses, and all that negative aura just evaporates into nothing. He turns around, face full of pity, and locks eyes with the second stage. Princess, you're not the problem, girl. The real trash is that dude who never deserved you anyway. Think about it. The world is starving. Regular people are out here struggling. And you, a high-key noble, are throwing your whole life away over some mid-tier romance? Are you really the queen material this country needs? Your tragedy? Yeah, I'm closing the casket on that right now. The light on her stage dims. She's cooked. But then, a sinister giggle cuts through the air. The final stage is laughing, and it's getting louder and creepier by the second. Nice show, man. Seriously, that was some Oscar-worthy acting. Too bad it's all cap. Your hate? Fake. Your trauma? Mid. That's all fake. You ain't Tinif, bro. You're just some unhinged NPC crashing the set. Just like that, the vibe shifts. The negative energy comes back tenfold, turning the whole place toxic. This isn't a power move anymore. It's a straight-up disrespect from some random hater. The clown keeps trolling, spitting absolute nonsense. Tinf just smirks. But that look is colder than liquid nitrogen. Yeah, you're right. I'm fake. The whole crowd goes silent. He points to his heart, his voice cracking with intensity. Your feelings? Sand? Drama? That's just a script, bro. It's a mirror reflection, total delusions. But me? My pain is real, my beef is living, breathing proof. Every single second I exist is 10,000 times more legit than this trash screenplay you're running. So today, I'm turning my own life into the only stage that matters. Squelch! The blade digs deep, slicing down like he's carving a turkey. He's out here masking up as a righteous hero. But bro is secretly carrying a trauma level that's deeper than the ocean. A mask strictly built for pure, unadulterated revenge. That pain is absolutely rancid. But the grin on his face? Pure, unhinged energy. The White Tiger Hall and the Long Gate sect were already looking shaky, and in this exact moment, they're officially cooked. Even the all-living Buddha altar, those clowns who thought they were enlightened, are getting absolutely folded. The expressions on thousands of those masks just froze solid, replaced by pure, straight-up terror. Mission accomplished. I'm Su Tiansheng now. Or, wait, am I Jing? Who's gonna check me? Who's gonna call me a fraud now? Orphan is just being lonely in the dark while everyone else is out living their best life. Destitute is having your parents unalived and being too weak to clap back at the ops. It's that deep resentment for the universe being unfair. You think I'm just acting? Nah. My trauma is more real, more painful, and way more main character than your fake-ass gods. BOM. The first massive explosion rocks the White Tiger altar, and all that pretentious aura and hate energy just evaporates. Next thing you know, the Long Gate altar collapses like a house of cards. The Phoenix Crown needle shatters, raining down gold like some legendary loot drop from the heavens. Finally, the all-living Buddha altar goes down. A sound like a long, mournful cry, half laughing, half sobbing, echoes out like it's finally letting go of its baggage. The masks turn blank, dissolving into literal billions of golden particles. 3 distinct pillars of golden light collide, each one looking sharper than a max-level blade. Before he can even catch his breath, a blood-red beam strikes from the sky, looking like a god-slaying spear, straight up piercing through all that mythic tier golden light. Bro is shook, totally blindsided. But the golden light doesn't just disappear. It turns into a massive download of raw info, flooding straight into his third eye. 3 trippy visions hit his brain at once. He sees a general planting flowers in a graveyard after kicking the bucket, a royal concubine straight up taking the throne to rule the empire, and a clown taking off his mask to be a beggar, dropping a single tear. And then, the loot reveal. 3 legendary artifacts floating above the altar, and bro's knees just give out. He hits the floor, one knee down. Man, that took so much brain power, I'm literally cooked. Bro pulls out a bottle of origin blood, tilts his head back, and downs that stuff like a shot. Suddenly, that life force is hitting different, rushing through every limb. Injuries? Gone. Already back to 100%. He stands up and marches straight to the White Tiger altar. He activates the Truth Eye on the Tyrant armor. This legendary tier gear has a passive called Tyrant's Majesty. The more aura he packs, the heavier the pressure gets. Plus, it gives a massive buff to damage reduction and scaling damage. Function 2, Last Stand. When he's surrounded by 3 or more ops, the Tyrant's Majesty buff scales up based on how many clowns are trying to jump him. Sheesh. Absolute W. His eyes glow gold. This passive was literally made for him. It's like it was coded specifically for his kit. He moves to the next altar, and there it is, a shiny jade pendant. It's called the Allure Pendant, a legendary tier accessory with a move called Redirect. Any single target attack aimed at him? High chance it just whiffs and hits one of his own allies instead? Talk about friendly fire. Bro's face looks kinda sus. This thing is cursed, but honestly, it's a total cheat code for assassins. Finally, he shifts his gaze to the reincarnation image altar on the right. If that clown hadn't pushed him into a corner, he never would have had to do that blood mask ritual. I am the drama. In a weird way, that clown actually did him a solid and helped him level up. He reaches out and grabs a red, jagged tooth. Karma Bite, a legendary tier item. Ability 1. Eye for an eye. If someone tries to debuff him, he's got a chance to reverse that status effect right back onto them. Ability 2. It's got a passive chance to just auto-reflect any negative status. He's holding his breath, locked in. In this era of superpowers, you never know when some rat is gonna poison or curse you. If he can max out that reflection rate, he's basically unkillable. These 3 legendary items? Man, he absolutely robbed the vault. Huge W. He looks up, eyes glued to the center of the stage. That's exactly where that blood-red beam of light hit earlier. The real deal is right there, and his heart is going absolutely ham. The 3 legendaries were already a massive haul, but that blood-colored pillar of light that just crashed from the heavens? It's built different. Pure, raw power. One spear strike pierced through 3 golden beams like they were nothing. Definitely mythic tier, no cap, and it literally just fell from the sky. This has literally never happened before. He approaches the faint light with major main character caution. Boom. It's another drawing on skin, thin as a cicada wing. Eyes of Truth. Activate! It's the legendary purification manual, baby. The passive skill? Absolute psychological warfare. Anyone who sees it gets instant debuffs. Their battle spirit is gonna drop to 0, no cap. Let's go! He laughs, realizing this skill is cracked. Like, literally OP. And get this. There are 7 pieces in this set. If all 7 are mythic grade, bruh. Imagine the absolute scenes when he collects the full set. It's gonna be glorious. He looks up at the moon. It's looking thick tonight, and he's finally feeling at peace. But then he remembers 2 lines from that letter. The performers can't wait anymore, they're doing the final dress rehearsal. And she specifically wants to see you. Once the show ends tonight, the fog is finally lifting. Those 3 on the heaven stage? They're basically just the ultimate method actors. Following that logic, he realizes he actually knew someone before he even hit that stage. He flicks his wrist, and suddenly a ticket, burnt at the edges, just spawns in his hand. Entry ticket. Theater 444. Jia Wei, the tragic heroine stuck in a literal, infinite loop. The performers, the heroine. All the pieces of the puzzle just clicked into place. The person mentioned in the letter? Yeah, that's definitely the eternal queen of Theater 444. He previously sacrificed a photo of Jia Wei, someone he low-key despises, just to get that ticket. Talk about bad karma. They've been locked in since day 1. No wonder his eyes of truth were flagging it as a karma event. Turns out, there's always a price to pay when you make a sacrifice. He checks his phone, low-key stressing. The 14th. Mid-Autumn Festival is tomorrow. The final dress rehearsal gives off a chilling vibe. Tomorrow isn't about celebrating a festival. It's showtime. These performers from Theater 444 are about to drop a global performance that's gonna cook everyone. Now he's facing 2 massive L's if he doesn't play this right. 1. Is this eternal heroine coming for his head, or is it a W? 2. How are these creeps even gonna manifest tomorrow? What's the play? His eyes sharpen. It's grind time. Bro suddenly pulls 3 absolute legend tier items out of his inventory. The Abyssal Dragon Egg, the Soul Jade, and the Heartlink GU. Absolute W loadout. He taps the Soul Jade with his finger. It's ice cold, but it's vibing with his soul instantly. This thing is a literal cheat code. It's tanked so many mental attacks for him in the past. Real MVP. Then he checks the Heartlink GU. 2 bugs, 1 big, 1 small, just chilling and crawling onto his finger like they're besties. Right, since you guys have soul in the name, you're now the Soulbone Squad. Finally, he looks at that Abyssal Dragon Egg, which is out here trying to cuddle his arm. Cute, but we need a name. Calling you Little Blackie? Nah, that's mid. Soul Jade, Soulbone, Soul Egg. Boom. The Soul Boy Band is officially formed. Group debut starting now. Suddenly, his phone rings. It's Zhao Gang. Yo, Mr. Su, Shin Hee's test results are back. All stats are green, she's literally fine. Bet. That's a win. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival, by the way. Oh, and I hit up the Dark Shadows crew. They let me join as an Outer Core member immediately. Outer Core member? Bro pauses. The vibe just shifted. Just like Jia Weiwei, he's still not hitting that inner circle status. This Dark Shadows group is moving mad with their hierarchy. It's tight as heck. Right, Mr. Su? They stationed me at a logistics warehouse on the east side of the city. The east side? Our boy's eyes just locked onto the target. Something's cooking. Turns out it's not that Ying family chemical plant after all. Interesting. Listen, keep your head down, watch your back, and stay alive. Don't do anything stupid. He hangs up, sits under the eaves with some booze and a mooncake, and lets out a bitter smirk. It's about to go down. Dad, watch closely. Take notes. This is how a real legend does it. The moon gets devoured by black clouds. The whole world just went into hard mode. Total darkness. Drip, drop. Rain starts hammering down from the pitch-black sky. He checks the time. Midnight, the 15th of the lunar month. Mid-Autumn Festival. Happy Mid-Autumn, stay safe, reunite with your loved ones. He says the words, but the warmth vanishes instantly. The air gets heavy. Straight-up bloodlust mode activated. Time for the main character to hit the stage. He grabs a massive black umbrella leaning against the door. WHOSH. The umbrella pops open, shielding him from that weird supernatural rain that's literally rewriting reality. He doesn't look back, he just steps straight into the endless downpour. Unknown danger coming for him? Doesn't matter. It's time to wreck this dark shadow.